Yappisode.
Yo, welcome back. Oh my gosh, my son that messed up my camera and all types of stuff, man. Welcome back to another episode. This is episode 56. Oh my gosh. And this is obviously the Daily App. I am your host, Jay. And yes, I appreciate everybody that is so understanding because kids are crazy. Kids are crazy. And nowadays, we are just trying whatever we can to get these two kiddos to sleep on time. And it is just chaotic, man. But it's been a great evening. I don't know how everybody else's evening has been, but it's been pretty good over here. Took my oldest. We had a long kind of like I guess I want to say like date, but like day together or evening together. Took them to the indoor playground, and then we played for a long time. Just kind of get like that one-on-one time because I know that he's been going through different emotions with, you know, his younger brother coming in the picture. And so took him to the indoor playground, played for a very long time, then went to a restaurant, ate together, just spent some time with him, man. And so that was fun. We did that all evening from like soon as I got off work. And we didn't get back to, 8 o'clock right for bedtime. So it's been a very, very eventful evening. And then obviously we are. So I appreciate y'all for joining. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in, on your way out. If you're on the replay crew, thank you always, replay crew, because it is definitely very, very I'm very thankful that people even if they missed the live, they end up tuning in the next day and still dropping comments and still interacting in the chat as if they were live. So I definitely appreciate the replay crew. Make sure you guys, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well. We're on the road to 26K. I appreciate all the support along the way. You can support the channel in many different ways. We got multiple TikTok accounts. Well, I guess just two TikTok accounts. Two TikTok accounts. We have Facebook as well, brand new. We went through that whole shebang yesterday of people stealing my content and pretending to be me on Facebook and got like 30,000 followers or something like that. It's crazy. But we are on Facebook now. It's growing. We're at 6 followers on Facebook now. So I'm excited for the new journey on there. And like I said, but yesterday as well, we are working our way into the other platforms as well, your Spotify's, your Apple podcast stuff. So we're on our way up, but I couldn't do it without y'all. So thank y'all again. And obviously I'm on Buy Me a Coffee as well at JD Apple One. So you can support the channel in many different ways. But without further ado, yes, we do have a lot to talk about. And tonight is going to be a little different because I want to hit on so many different topics and it's hard to it's so many things. It's so many things. And so tonight is gonna be one of them nights where it's gonna be a lot of vibes, a lot of content, a lot of jumping in a lot of different places because I want to hit on everything. I really do. I want to hit on everything in one live. So that's the goal. And we shall see because I want to hit on Didi. He had a debate with I think the guy's name is Warren. And this was one of those debates where Didi's arguing his side, which is kind of like our side, that the evidence is not overwhelming. And there are so many questions and loopholes in this case with the Charlie Kirk investigation. And Warren is somebody that if I understand correctly, he comes from the Andrew Wilson side of things, and he's like taking stuff out of context and putting on his page and taking Andrew Wilson's side, and he thinks is overwhelming evidence and all that other stuff, which I think within itself is like a psyop because it's just not overwhelming evidence. I can't stand when people say that. I don't know. It's just this whole thing. So he had a debate. I don't know if it's over yet, but that was going on tonight. I wanted to play that entire debate in full. We was actually going to have a watch party about that. I was talking to Angela, one of the mods. We was going to have a watch party on that debate, but then I think I got a message last second that was like, Warren is like not even just not all that. And so I, pivoting at the last second because I'm like, if it's very boring, if Warren is clearly somebody that's like a clickbait type of person, they get exposed very early on. Okay, it's very easy to tell if you're just somebody that do it for clicks and you really don't even mean what you or you don't even believe in what you say. So I definitely don't want to spend time listening to this guy when he's just again when you get these people in front of a camera, they're just totally different, man. I mean, like for the ones that follow me on X, like there are people that have called me crazy names and say all types of crazy stuff. And the second I'm like, come on the podcast, like let's chop it up. Now all of a sudden they don't want to. Now they oh nah man, it's cool. You know what I mean? And it's like right. So shut up, right? And don't do all of this sneak talking and all of this subtweeting and saying all this stuff in the comments. If you ain't really trying to put up, you know what I mean? Like put up or shut up. Like that's just what it is. And so it's funny because that's genuinely how all of them are. The only person that I will say, again, like stood on business, which I respect, is Lisa knows she definitely ain't gonna back down, and she gonna meet you face to face and defend whatever she's defending. But that's typically where these people stand. And so I want to play at least 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes or so to see how this DD debate went. One, because definitely supporter of DDD does great work, and I would assume that he absolutely destroyed Warren in this debate, and I want to see how it at least went initially, and then we'll pivot into some other things because obviously Terryl Farnsworth, Candace dropped something today again, from what I've been told, and about Terryl Farnsworth. So we shall see. I want to hit on Barron a little bit because Barron said something about a spy plane going over that somebody was sending me about that. So we'll get into that as well. And yeah, so please 11 o'clock my time, grab your popcorn, whatever you need, nighttime snack, whatever you're doing, and let's just vibe. Let's just chill. Let's definitely just vibe and chill. Late, but I made it. Let's get the yapping. I'm late. Is he excited about being a big brother? Yes, yes. He is very excited. He is very excited. He is, I think I told y'all before, he doesn't play about his sleep at all. And so for the first like week, he was sleeping in his room, which is where he should be. And but he was like, missing mom because he's been sleeping in our bed for 3 years. And so I think one week, it might have been like last week, we were like, I mean, you can still sleep in our bed if you want to. Like, I don't mind. I'll go sleep in your room. I'll take the whole, you got this big old bed to yourself. I'll sleep in it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll put it to use. So I was like, you can go ahead and go sleep in our room if you want to. Like, it's cool. But your brother might wake you up though, just to let you know. But if you feel like you want to do it, then go ahead. And so he tried it a couple nights and he ended up like loving it because again, he just loves being next to mom at night. But it's funny because like his brother will wake him up multiple times in the night. So throughout the day now, he's more tired than usual because his brother's waking him up 3-4 times in the night. But he doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to admit that he's like super tired from him. Because I'd be like, you can go sleep in your room if you feel like you want to get a better sleep, blah blah. He was like, no. I like when he wakes me up. I like when he wakes me up. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I think he's doing well. He's doing well. He's definitely it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see him, hold him all, every day, like when they're sitting down on the couch and he's before we go anywhere, he'll give him a kiss before we leave. And like I said, at nighttime, he's patient. He knows, like, brother just need a diaper change. Brother just need to eat. So it's just funny because I'm like, I know you're tired, bro. Every day now in the middle of the day, he was like, Dad, I'm sleepy. Like, I know your brother keeps you up all night, but you don't have to sleep in there if you don't want to. Sleep in your room. And he's always, no, I like it. I like it. I'm like, all right, bro. So he is enjoying it. He is enjoying it. Warren is such an untrustworthy name. We're gonna see what he's talking about. We're gonna see what he's talking about. Sounds like Warren and Smoke Boy would be good friends. They have a lot in common. Yeah, for real. Um, Kyle, what's up? You fasting? Oh, good luck to you. That's a tough one. Just got my first commercial during your stream. Congrats on being monetized. uh that's interesting. I've been monetized for a while, but I must usually the ads are off during the stream, and then afterwards in post production I'll turn them on just so like people can watch it. We know without ads because that way you don't have to get premium. But it must have automatically cut on now. That's weird. Very odd. But yeah, I've been monetized for quite some time now. That's kind of odd, and they definitely be trying to do y'all dirty too. When I'm in post production, like going through the ads, because like you can go through them first you gotta monetize the video, and then it'll tell you about all the ads and stuff like that. Bro, I promise y'all, they try to put an ad every minute out of like a 2 hour live, out of a 2 hour podcast. And I'm literally like, every minute is crazy. That's diabolical. So I'll go through there and literally change the segments of the ads and place them where they're reasonable. Like I'll do like every 15 minutes, every like 20 to 30 minutes, or something like that. But that YouTube be trying to tax, bro. Like, so that's why I don't know. Maybe the little toggle or whatever you want to call it must have hit on and did automatic ads during the live now. So I'll go back and check that if it's really, a huge problem. Cause I definitely I been turning them off in the past. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into DD and see how the debate has gone with him. I'm assuming again he won the debate. That's my guess. Because these people never actually are overwhelmed with evidence. um so yeah, it's over now. Oh, it literally just ended 3 minutes ago. So yeah, we probably won't be watching. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes, so we won't be watching the whole thing anyway. But we'll only be watching probably like the first 15 to 20 minutes just to see where Warren stands. I want to see how these people stand on business when it comes to the overwhelming evidence. So let's check it out really quick. They didn't debate. Warren was an idiot, sarcastic. No need to watch it. Is that bad? Is that bad? That's why I got YouTube Premium ads every 2 minutes. Yeah, the ads are terrible. I'm telling you. When I go back in post production and I gotta manually switch the frequency of the ads, when I look at what they have, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I see why they force people to buy YouTube Premium. It's highway robbery. Um, Yep. Just left DD's debate. I won't spoil it, but yeah, your prediction was on par. Okay, let's check it out then. No, without further ado, no more stalling. I wasn't intentionally stalling, but let's see what it's about.
The episode of DD Got a Podcast. I'm your host, DD. Appreciate you all for tuning in as always. Please hit the like button on your way in. That goes along.
And DD cool. I know we, in communication and stuff like that, but still, like, here's his page here. DD Got a Podcast. You can go give him a follow. Warren, I don't really know him like that, so yeah, I ain't gonna shout you out, brother. But here's DD's page right here. If you want to go watch the entire video, they just finished the stream. But yeah, this is from his page.
Long way. I am sitting here with my guest that I am meeting for the very first time. His name is Warren Smith. Thanks to many of you all, he responded. I'm assuming he saw the comments, and he has agreed. First and foremost, he's a lot more. I never thought he was an aggressive person, but a lot more kind than I thought he was going to be.
And by the way, if Warren, from the clips that I saw DD play, which is why he called him out initially, if Warren stands 10 toes on his videos, then this should be a great debate. It should have been. I don't know, but it should have been. So that's why I was like, I definitely would love to watch the whole thing, which I will soon. But when Angela said, "Yeah, I don't know if you want to play the whole thing," I was like, "Oh wow." Because when I saw that he accepted the debate, I said, "Oh, this should honestly be better than Candace and Andrew Wilson." Because these are two regular people that are going to get in. There's no limitations on what to talk about and all that other stuff. So I really thought that it was going to be great because they were just going to hit on absolutely everything, which is the whole point. So, but clearly. We'll see.
Be privately, really respectful guy, and kudos to him for agreeing to have a conversation. I was called dumb by Jake Rattlesnake earlier today on Twitter, which I thought was interesting because that's typically what the quote unquote left does. They resort to ad hominem, but that's not Warren Smith. He was more than willing to have a conversation. And so here we are. I want to start off at the beginning of this live stream by stating that Jesus.
I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. I just got another text from JR. Yeah, no, JR was on the stream the other night. A couple of times. He was on last week twice. JR said, "Man, the DD debate was impressively worse than Candace." So Warren must have really been bad. Because I know he's not talking about DD. We all know DD is similar to all of us. Like he's gonna definitely articulate all of the concerns of the case. But for JR to say that, Warren must be very, very bad. And then Angela just told me that too before the stream. So dang, Warren, that's tough. You one of them. That's tough. You going down in the history as it's just one of them folks that just got Twitter fingers.
Christ is Lord, and I hope that you can grow a relationship with him in your lifetime. And before I sort of get into it, I'm going to give Warren an opportunity to sort of introduce himself and let the audience know who he is if they don't know you already.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. I make videos on YouTube, try and think critically as best I can. Used to be a teacher. Yeah. Thanks. Let's do it.
Heck yeah, let's do it. Okay.
What? Why is this guy so weird?
So I want to just state that there's a very good chance in this conversation we will not even discuss the weird behaviors of all the people on the day that everything happened with Charlie, because I'm going to I don't want to give anybody an out. And by anybody, I don't mean Warren, even though he's the person I'm speaking to, the audience, anybody who's on Warren's side, holds his position, his worldview. I'm not going to give them an out by stating that, oh, just because somebody was behaving strangely, we don't know what that means. Okay, fine. I'm not even going to give you that, even though there's overwhelming things to look at from just that perspective. We're going to just delve into the evidence. But I do want to just state something here at the very beginning. Can we establish, Warren, can we agree, before we even get into this, that there are two separate things that are taking place? One of those things is that there are those of us, many of us, you and I are probably in the same category here, that are assessing and maybe even scrutinizing the evidence that's been presented, the case that is currently taking place. That's one thing that's taking place. And then the second thing are those of us that's willing to go the next step and start theorizing or coming up with our own theories as to what we believe may have happened that day. Can we agree that there's a distinction there?
Yes, of course. But let's also keep in mind that what I'm hoping to get to, what I'm interested in, is why you wanted to have this debate to begin with, because the response just to my analysis, just to my video, seems strange. I don't understand it. So this began with your tweet. So if we could, what do you think was unfair? Why did you want to have this debate?
Yes. Thank you for the question. Your analysis of, which I know was just a short video, it wasn't exhaustive at all. Can you and I agree your analysis was extremely one-sided and extremely misleading?
Okay, I would love to hear how that is. My goal with that video is to describe the dynamics I see through the lens solely of the prompt. So based on the prompt, what did I see? The good, the bad, from both. I gave, in your tweet, you claimed I did not say anything about any negatives towards Andrew, which is not true. I pointed out his failure to be able to list one of the charges. So what was unfair?
Okay, fair. I don't know why I don't remember that. Maybe you said that at the very, because I clicked off your video with I think 30 seconds left. I literally watched just about all of it. So unless you mentioned it right before the video ended, I don't remember you speaking about that. But it was extremely unfair in my opinion, respectfully, because I mean there's a lot of things. I took notes here. Let's talk about a few things with Mr. Mr. Andrew Wilson. Well, before we get into that, let me ask you, do you agree with the assessment? How convinced are you that Tyler Robinson took out Charlie?
I would agree with Andrew, 75 to 85. I think that's pretty a good approach. If you were to ask me where would I put my money, if I had to put all my money in my bank account onto what I think happened, based on the evidence that I can see, based on the analysis and all the indicators, I would put my money. I think I have the most chance of a return by putting it on Tyler Robinson.
Okay.
What do you do?
He saved himself a little bit by like the whole most in return thing. But what's up with these folks and the overwhelming? Could you increase the speed on the video to 1.5? I thought 1.15 was gonna be good enough, but clearly not. Yeah, I'll change it. What's up with these folks in the whole overwhelming term? Because like, yeah, somebody said in the chat that like I'm so sick of where is it at? I don't like the word overwhelming anymore. I'm overwhelmed with the word overwhelming. It's crazy because they're just misusing the term. That's literally not what it means. That's not what it is. To be 75% sure is not overwhelmed. Like, what are you talking about? And then he's like, yeah, you know, I'm overwhelmed with the evidence, but you know, if you know, I'm probably about 75% sure Tyler Robinson did it. And if all the money in my bank account, I would bet on it. I would, all your money in your bank account, you would put it on Tyler, the whole official narrative thing or the original narrative. Dog, if I'm putting all my money on something, 75% ain't good enough. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you want to get like technical. Sure, the odds are great, 75 to 25, but they just make it sound so crazy. There's no way that you're gonna sit here and man, I'll put all my money on it. But then in the same breath say, yeah, I'm about like 75% sure. Dude, oh my gosh. So he's already lost the debate by doing the exact same thing Andrew Wilson did, which is saying that he is overwhelmed with the evidence, but he's only 75% sure. So, okay, I can see how this is going to go. I'll put it to 1.5 because clearly this is not good enough.
Disagree?
I would definitely disagree. Would you say that there's overwhelming evidence?
What do you mean by overwhelming?
Let me slow it down. That might be too fast. 1.25.
I think there's more evidence to indicate that than anything else.
Okay. Okay. So you want?
I don't know what overwhelms you.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
No. What I asked you was, so you wouldn't describe it necessarily as overwhelming?
I don't know what overwhelmed. That's subjective.
Fair.
I don't know what you mean by. Do you see a more like? What would you put your money on? Do you?
I don't believe that Charlie Kirk was taken out by Tyler Robinson all by his lonesome from the rooftop of the Lozy Center. But the reason why I wanted to establish that before I got into the Andrew thing is because he states that there is overwhelming evidence that Charlie Kirk was pow-pow by Tyler Robinson. But then he says he's only 75 to 85% sure, which is not overwhelming at all.
But again, overwhelming. What is overwhelming to you might not be overwhelming to me.
We can look up the definition of the word.
Fixated on that.
Okay.
But I think if we're going to go with someone being overly invested in a position without something to back it up, Candace Owen said there was a 0% chance Tyler Robinson is the one who pulled the trigger. Do you have a problem with that claim?
I don't like to delve into absolutes. So if I was in Candace's position, maybe I wouldn't have said the number 0. However, I will state, if I remember correctly, and you all fact check me on this, I believe it was how convinced are you? I believe the question was how convinced are you?
He's 100% convinced.
Yeah. And I understand where Candace is coming from with that. And we're going to get into
Could you explain that? Okay. I would love to get into that as soon as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So just real quick with Andrew, you asked earlier, let's a few things. So you want to talk about the text messages. So he claimed that he has this text message from Charlie stating that the left was going to take him out the night before. Do you have any thoughts about that? Because if you mentioned that in your video, again, I may have missed it because you may have mentioned it right at the end, right before the video.
Oh, the new text that Andrew presented at the beginning. I didn't, no, I was kind of focusing on what I think was the biggest, the score. If I were to give it a score based upon the debate prompts, which completely, that opening 0% chance changes the stakes, like that is the prompt. It's an interesting piece of, I guess you could call it evidence. Yes, that text message. I don't think it drastically changes anything. It was my suspicion before. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I actually agree with you. I don't think it actually changes anything because that would almost indicate that Charlie received a threat from Tyler Robinson himself for him to just make that statement right before. But we don't have to get into it. The purpose of
what do you mean by that?
Okay, yeah, I'll elaborate. So even if it's true that Charlie Kirk text someone the night before that he's afraid the left is going to take him out, it doesn't prove that Tyler Robinson did it.
Sure.
Would you? So that's all I mean.
Right. No, it's not direct proof.
Okay. So, but the purpose of me mentioning the text message, because I don't remember you ever mentioning it in your video, is because, well, number one, Erica Kirk contradicted him months ago. Are you aware of this?
Right. Yes, there's many things that Erica Kirk has done. I think Candace has made many valid points about Erica Kirk, observations of strange behavior. So I have no problem if someone finds what she does strange or has questions about her qualifications. I think that is completely outside the actual debate prompt itself, whether or not Erica Kirk is qualified to lead Turning Point or things of that sort.
That's fair. And I could go through the other things, but you did make it clear that you were covering it from the lens of what the prompt was and how they
solely on logic,
themselves accordingly. But
yes.
Fair enough. I just thought from an ethical perspective, if I'm going to cover a video like that, but you're free to do what you want in your video, of course. But I would have definitely mentioned the fact that Andrew Wilson said at the very beginning of the debate that it's very ghoulish to profit off of the death of a good man, to only then later in the video state himself that he's not going to release the text messages because he has to drip out that evidence on his own channel.
And do you understand the point? Can you guess what the point is that he's trying to make? Do you think he's trying to make a larger point there about you don't think he is?
Nope. But you can tell me though.
When he's talking about dripping out the evidence kind of in a mocking way to kind of show the hypocrisy to Candace of when there's evidence and you ask me to present it as he asked her, she says, watch my show. Well, you should watch my show. I think that's what can you see how that might instigate that response?
Definitely see where you're going. Here's the problem though. If that's the point that Andrew Wilson is trying to make, he's supposed to make the statement as a joke and then provide the evidence and crush Candace right there on her show.
Should Candace be held to that same standard?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Well, I agree then. Fair enough.
Yep, I definitely agree with you.
Okay.
And I've, for the record, because I'm assuming you've probably never heard of me until today, I've been critical of Candace, like the way she's dripped out evidence, if you will, over the months instead of just releasing more at once. But people have given me pushback and saying, well, she's being strategic. I'm still not a fan of it. So I definitely understand anybody who comes from that perspective, for the record. Let me see before we move on. Oh, yes, this is very important. Andrew Wilson stated that it's amazing to him
There it is. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. Bro, it's a little mute button on the back of this. I don't even remember hitting it. But that's what happened. I thought it was worse things that went down. I just happened to hit the mute button on accident. But what I was saying is, you have your people that are like comfortable with going live, and then you have your people that you can tell they're just like a pre-recorded type of I don't even know, a pre-recorded type of person. They love pre-recorded content. They recorded that way, content creator, I guess if you want to call it that. And that's the vibes that you get with this guy. Because in his videos, he's super comfortable, critiquing Candace and doing all this other stuff. But for some reason, why is he so weird right now? He's super weird. Like, I get it. His camera angle is like to the side. So maybe that's why he's like not looking directly at the camera, but he's also like looking down, you know what I mean? Because you can tell his screen is also like in front of him. So he's not looking at anything right now. He's not looking at the screen and he's not looking at the camera. Like right now I'm looking at my screen. So even if I'm not looking directly at the camera, at least I'm paying attention to what's going on, which is my guest or the person I'm debating against on the screen. But he's literally just like down, looking everywhere else, talking, looking like all like, that's crazy to me. But that's the part where I'm saying, like, you can just tell like these are the type of individuals that got a lot of smack talk behind the camera doing pre-records, whether they on X with the Twitter fingers, doing all of that. When they get in front of a camera, it's not the same energy. It's just not. You just tell, bro. And all of those people, they tend respect to him for accepting the debate. Respect to him. But a lot of these people just they don't accept debates. They don't accept face-to-face. Now I wouldn't say confrontation, but just like hashing it out, settling it. Like, just talk to me. Let's see all that big boy talk that you've been doing on the internet and all this other stuff. Let's see what it's about right here on live with everybody watching. It's a different ball game.
How cooperative TPUSA is if you approach them in good faith. Do you see anything wrong with this statement?
Do I see anything wrong?
Yeah, just on this for face value. Like, is there anything weird that you find?
Just go ahead and tell me, and then
we
can discuss.
Sure. I find it weird, just first and foremost, because if there was evidence, you don't need to approach an organization like TPUSA. You shouldn't have to in good faith. If you have evidence to support your claim, you should.
We can save time. I agree that Turning Point has handled this extremely poorly. Looking back, I'm just thinking it's difficult to imagine handling it worse.
Okay.
Yeah, if I were to give them advice, go debate Candace. They've invited you to debate. Go debate her. Like, why aren't you?
Fair
yeah,
enough.
You guys should have done something with this tweet. You could have shared that a long time ago.
Fair.
Like, I don't know what they're doing then, but that has nothing to do with the video I made or the debate.
Yeah, I agree. The last thing I'll say, and then we'll get into the evidence, is I mentioned that only to state a TPUSA ex-employee who handled the emails for TPUSA has come out. I don't know if you saw it. And she stated that he's lying because hundreds, if not thousands of people have been emailing and reaching out to TPUSA in good faith. And they were told explicitly not to interact with any of those individuals. So Andrew Wilson lied.
I mean, it's potential. I don't know. Maybe it's potential. Also, someone gave him. I haven't even heard that story.
Yeah.
She's
on video.
Okay. That might be the case. I don't know what that has to do with my analysis in the video, though.
It was a lot of things you left out of your analysis. Is all but fair enough.
Go run through them, man. Like, but things that are relative, like if there are points Candace made, not stylistic, not things you find interesting, but facts, evidence in relation to the prompt.
Yeah.
What did I miss? Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not. If I'm short, I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm just trying to save time.
Fair enough. I appreciate the clarification. Are you, just for a good measure, are you familiar with the 7 charges against Tyler?
Yeah, we've got aggravated murder, using a weapon. I don't remember the exact specific language. I'm really bad at informational recall, especially legal language. Discharge of a weapon in front of a child with, was it witness tampering, whether or not, when he said, don't get a lawyer and don't talk to the police. Some of them are just like,
yeah. You got it for the most part. It's aggravated murder. It's
I wouldn't have been able to recount that probably.
A weapon, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, violence in front of a minor. But the point is, the very first charge against Tyler is aggravated murder. Do you know why it's specifically aggravated murder? Because Andrew seemed to think that and just regular murder is the same thing, and it's not. Do you understand why he was charged specifically with?
I'm not a lawyer. My guess would be that it would have to do with premeditation. Is that correct?
My understanding is no. My understanding is that it's aggravated murder instead of regular murder because he fired in a crowd and he could have potentially harmed, let alone unalived, another person.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get into the evidence, man.
So are there any other? Because I'm just trying to understand your response to why my video upset you so much.
Well, because I said it it was extremely one-sided. I think Andrew will.
Oh, now I'm starting to understand why somebody said leave it at 1.5. Because you got a point. It has been 15 minutes. They haven't really got into nothing yet. So
it's an embarrassed
That's
himself.
apply the analysis. That's just how it comes out. That doesn't mean I'm choosing to be biased.
No, I definitely understand it. It comes off that way that you were choosing. I'm gonna explain to you why. Candace Owens is taking the defense's position. Andrew Wilson, I'm explaining.
I mean, I'm choosing to be biased.
No, I definitely understand it. It comes off that way that you were choosing. I'm gonna explain to you why. Candace Owens is taking the defense's position. Andrew Wilson is taking the position of the state, which means by default, it's not Candace Owens' job or anybody who take Candace Owens' position to provide any evidence, Warren. Not one piece of evidence. It's their job to provide reasonable doubt.
It's a debate, though, over their claims. Who has the stronger claim? So why have the debate then if you're not going to have the burden of supporting your claim with evidence? That's the point of the debate. And I agree with you. That was her strategy, which is why I made the video the way I did, because I also got that sense. She was not interested in debating. I've heard this argument. It's just so hilarious.
I'm so confused here. So I guess for the sake of time, we can just bypass because your perspective is that
one. We don't need to bypass it. This is better.
Okay, fair. I'm not. I disagree with your framing there.
What?
My understanding is that I'm just trying to make sure I word this correctly. My understanding is that Candace Owens was in a position where she was defending the fact that she does not believe that Tyler Robinson is guilty. And I believe Patrick Bet-David cleared this up at the very beginning. She believes he's a patsy. She has to defend that position. The way that she chose to defend that position is by poking holes in the evidence that does not prove that Tyler Robinson did it. Therefore, by definition, he would be a patsy.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So she points to potential. There could be more to this, and here, and maybe here. We don't know yet. Therefore, he's a patsy.
Yes, and I know that this is a point of confliction in their debate. So hopefully, you and I can get past what they couldn't clear up. So,
can you explain? Yeah, just explain it to me.
Sure. If we look up the definition of patsy, which a lot of people I'm sure have probably never looked up the definition of what the word patsy means. If Tyler Robinson is being framed for something or being charged with something that we do not believe based on the evidence he did, by default, he is a patsy by definition.
Yes, if he's being framed. So I understand that's the
so
claim.
If you're being charged for something that you did do based on the evidence, I get what you're getting to.
I mean, you could come out and say, hey, if he was being framed, the government would be so good that it wouldn't be possible for me to even provide you evidence. So checkmate, I win the debate. I don't buy that though. I'm sorry. It's like, don't debate then.
Okay, fair. You can have that opinion. Can we get into the evidence?
Okay, the problem is that when you have that opinion though, I've lost 300 subscribers for stating what I just said. And this has nothing to do with how I feel about Candace Owens or Andrew Wilson. I don't dislike Candace Owens. My concern is, what are we doing if by pointing that out, people are now claiming I'm bought and paid for? Who's the conspiracy theorist? Like, her whole argument is, hey, I should have the freedom to think. And I agree. You shouldn't be certain. As she claims, she's 100% certain, and there's 0% chance. Me, Andrew, saying 85%, I'm not sure, but this isn't adding up. It's like the people that it feels like attacking me are the people who just are certain and they can't explain to me why.
If we get into the evidence, I think it's going to become increasingly clear.
Please.
While most of us, are not convinced that Tyler Robinson did this.
I'm not convinced Tyler Robinson did this, though. That doesn't mean Candace didn't lose the debate. What does that have to do with?
Okay, so what was Andrew there to
defend? Claim best.
What was Andrew Wilson there to debate?
Wait,
what was his position?
What was Andrew, though? That doesn't mean Candace.
Not convinced that Tyler Robinson did this.
I'm not convinced Tyler Robinson did this, though. That doesn't mean Candace didn't lose the debate.
What are we doing? The guy is saying that he's not even interested. He's not even convinced that Tyler Robinson did. Did I just hear that correctly? I thought it was overwhelmed. And then he said it was 75%. He would put his all of his money on it. What is he talking about now?
What does that have to do with Vince Tyler Robinson did this, though? That doesn't mean
I'm not convinced that Tyler Robinson did this.
I'm not convinced Tyler Robinson did this, though. That doesn't mean Candace didn't lose the debate. What does that have to do with?
Okay, so what was Andrew there to defend?
What are we talking about?
What was Andrew Wilson there to debate? Like, what was his position?
That there's more evidence to indicate Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger. Way more evidence than to indicate he's a patsy.
And okay, so you believe that he presented evidence?
He presented far more evidence than Candace, who presented.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody's comment saying that it should have been clarified what they were debating, because it seems like he's like, bro, are you debating me on the video I made, or are we? And then Didi's like, I'm trying to debate you in general of the Charlie Kirk case, but I think Buddy is trying to figure out why you don't like me so much over the video I made. So it's like they're going at two different things right now, and it's just going in circles.
No evidence.
Okay.
You disagree?
I disagree.
Okay. What's an example of evidence that Candace Owens provided?
I'm telling you what that evidence is. What you're talking about is physical somethings that she provided. That's not the only definition of evidence. Evidence is pointing to what has been provided and why it should not be trusted and why it's not, what's the word?
1202 with the gifted, man. Somebody in the chat it's gonna drop on somebody in the chat, man. So thank you to 1202 for gifting a membership to a lucky person in the chat that is now welcome into the Yap community or the Yap family. Thank you so much.
Credible. That's evidence in itself.
So give me an example.
That's what I'm trying to get into. Like all of the pieces of evidence that you claim that Andrew Wilson, there is something wrong with just about every piece of the evidence.
So can we do it? Let's run through an example so I can see what you mean.
Sure. Like the images of Tyler or supposedly Tyler Robinson on campus. Do we have any confirmed images of Tyler Robinson?
I don't believe anything's confirmed yet. The trial hasn't started.
Right. So remember, the debate happened before the trial. Our conversation right now is happening before the trial. So we're going based on what's been presented so far.
Right. But if you're going to claim that you're 100% sure he didn't pull the trigger, and I ask you why, you can't just say, hey, because that might not be him in the footage.
Fair. But what I'm stating is I'm not convinced. I don't want to be.
I'm not convinced either. What does that have to do with anything?
So fair. So that we have an understanding. I'm not here to defend Candace's position.
You were convinced enough to drop all your money on it 15 minutes ago. Now you're saying you're not convinced at all, or you're not convinced enough. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know. I think after hearing stuff like that, I'd definitely be like, you know what, bro? I don't know if we have anything else to talk about. Because what are we doing? It sounds like you literally are just lying in your videos for whatever reason. Because now you're saying that you're not convinced that Tyler Robinson did it. What are we talking about then? What are we here for? It sounds like you're on our side.
I thought you were. I'm sorry. Go ahead then.
No, you're fine. But no, I'm not here to defend Candace's position. I'm here. If we want to discuss the debate in your video, then by all means, of course, I'd love to do that. I wanted to defend or have a conversation around the way in which you framed the quote unquote debate.
Jay is way worse. I don't know if we definitely can't get through this whole thing. This is crazy. This is very bad on Warren.
Between the two of them.
Okay, what does that mean?
You're claiming that she didn't provide any evidence, and my position is, as if you're taking the position of the defense, your job is to present reasonable doubt.
If you're taking the position of I'm not taking the position of the state or the defense. I'm looking at the data just like you are and stating what I believe is the most rational assessment. That is my claim. You're presenting what you believe is the most rational assessment based on the data. That's your claim. We both defend our claims. Explain why.
For sure. When I said you,
logic to do that.
I agree, and I'm very logical, so I can appreciate that. When I said you, I didn't mean Warren. I meant Andrew, because that's the person that debated Candace.
Okay, but they negotiate. Hang on, I'm sorry, but okay, I thought you meant in our debate, which that's what would be the case. In their case, they had to negotiate ahead of time because there's all this money and stipulations and restrictions. They had very specific language negotiated, so we know what those claims are, hands down.
Right. What I'm stating is that Andrew Wilson took the position of the state. He said it himself at the very beginning.
Okay.
So that means he has to provide.
Okay, I get what you.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna put it on Warren because Warren ain't looking too good right now. But brother, I mean, we 20 something minutes in, Warren. We shouldn't be talking about Andrew Wilson at all. Like that should not be part of the conversation at all. Let's move forward and go into the case. What are you talking about?
He's taking the position of the state, that is to say, quote unquote, prosecuting Tyler Robinson.
He believes Tyler Robinson.
Correct.
That is the most plausible scenario based on the evidence.
Right. And my understanding, because I want to speak for Candace, since we're talking about the debate at this particular juncture of the video, my understanding.
I'll end up watching the rest later, and we can definitely probably clip it up or play some relevant parts on the next Yappisode. Because I'll watch all of it because I'm a supporter of DD, so I'm definitely interested in seeing how it went. And apparently y'all are saying it got crazier, so I'm interested. And I'll definitely let y'all know what prompted this debate. Warren made a video, and it's on DD's live a couple of days ago. Warren made a video, and he pretty much was just taking Andrew's side the whole time. And when Candace would make a good point, he would just dismiss it and out of pure intentions of missing it, and he would just agree with anything Andrew said. So he was like, "This is a very disingenuous video. Like, what are we doing right now?" And so he called him out. And here we are.
From Candace's point of view, is that based on what's been provided, she does not believe that Tyler Robinson did this. She believes that he is a patsy.
I got that. Yeah.
Okay.
Was there a question about that?
No, it's just, I don't know if this is about semantics or if we're just talking past each other on this point. Yeah.
I hear crickets in Warren background. Like what's going on, bro? What's going on? Didi, control control the combo, man. Let's get it. Let's get to it, because I don't know what Warren got going on. 1 hour and 52 minutes. I'll skip to that time mark if nothing else is going on, because this is
crazy. Man. Like, what do you?
We 47 minutes in right now, and I know I talked for like 15, 20 minutes. Probably like 15 minutes was the intro. So yeah, like we ain't got nowhere yet.
What do you mean?
I'm wanting to get into the evidence, right? So I think once we actually delve into the evidence,
so
I don't think they did a great enough job in the debate of doing.
I agree, man. I mean, there's a lot of room a lot of ground I would have liked them to cover.
Sure.
But I understand there were other things Andrew wanted to get to as well. But so when I'm analyzing this in my video, I'm only focusing on the portion that was around the two claims, which is really that first, we'll call it third, before they move on and kind of he cross-exams, she cross-exams, and that went into other topics and that are related to it, but that they got away from the claims. So anyways, let's
sure. I would like to ask you a question though. So when you say Candace provided 0% evidence, can you give me an example of what would have been quote unquote evidence?
I love you, Didi. Well, support you. But I can't listen to his response anymore about Candace and Andrew. It's just gonna be another 10-minute conversation. Like, I can't listen no more of Warren, to be specific, to be exact on what the problem is. But Didi, you setting him up though, because he's stalling, but you keep on asking him about the debate between Candace and Andrew. So I think that's why he's also confused. So yeah, let me skip to, let's see, 1 hour, 52 minutes. $39 seconds.
Shooting someone from a roof is a strange thing to do. I will concede. If you're going to try and crawl to the edge of a roof holding a rifle, you're going to, if I hand you a rifle right now and ask you to simulate or to pretend someone's down there, you got to sneak, you're going to do something that looks very similar. Now, do you find it strange that Candace Owens would bring up an image of a soldier crawling as though that indicates advanced training?
No, what I think she's implying is that it's something that is typically done by the military. Regular people do not regularly do. You're going to say regular people don't shoot people from a rooftop. The point is, how many cases in history of politically affiliated or not, pow the person and was doing a lateral crawl prior to doing so? Like, how many just off memory?
Oh, off memory? 12?
Okay, who?
Jacob Smith, when he shot I'm forgetting I don't know, man. You got me. I don't know the number of lateral calls that led up to an assassination. Do you?
I don't ever remember that occurring.
Dog, what's up with this guy, bro? How we go from he was so confident? I mean, yeah. 12 guys. I can name 12 people off the top of my head that crawl like that in the shooting. 12. Name one. Name one. And he's sitting there, he can't even figure out one person. Yeah, Jacob, he did that one time. Okay, forget Jacob. Let's go to the next one. Can you name the other 11? What about 10? 5. You said 12. Yeah, you got me. Bro, you can't take this too serious, dog. This is crazy.
I don't know, man. You got me. Jacob Smith, when he shot I'm forgetting I don't know, man. You got me. I don't know the number of lateral crawls that led up to an assassination. Do you?
I don't ever remember that occurring.
Oh shit. Okay, let me just examine the logic here. All right.
Here's the sarcasm again, you all. All right, bro. This has been a dope conversation, man. Any final thoughts?
I'm honestly trying to follow your logic here. Let's put sarcasm aside. I'm trying to follow your logic.
What?
Logic here.
Final sarcasm again.
Oh shit. Okay, let me just examine the logic here. All right.
Remember that occurring.
Led up to an assassination. Do you?
I don't ever remember that occurring.
Oh shit. Okay, let me just examine the logic here. All right.
Here's the sarcasm again, you all. All right, bro. This has been a dope conversation, man. Any final thoughts?
I'm honestly trying to follow your logic here. Let's put sarcasm aside. I'm trying to follow your logic. How would we know how many lateral crawls have occurred?
I don't know, like video footage, the one we just saw. I'm just saying based on video footage.
So you don't have video footage of someone doing a lateral crawl prior to an assassination. What does that teach you? Why are you even factoring that into your thinking?
Got you. Okay, fine. Any final thoughts, Warren?
Okay.
Majority of the things with this case, you weren't even familiar with them, bro. And then you're like speaking to me with this sarcasm. Like it's unnecessary.
I got you. No, that's fair.
For somebody that's not so familiar with the case, you're speaking with a bit of arrogance, bro. I'm not understanding that.
I got you. No, I'm trying to
understand.
I'm trying to follow you through these things, and and just to hear your thoughts on it genuinely. But at times, like the lateral crawl thing, it doesn't make logical sense. And so then if I'm trying to point that out, I'm not trying to, like, there have been times in this conversation where I am kind of aghast at it, where I'm struggling with it because you are a nice guy, like genuinely. And I kind of feel bad that, like, I think there's many people like you out there that are genuinely curious, and that's a good thing. And you think for yourself. That's a good thing, but you truly think for yourself and don't like take everything.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad we didn't sit here through the whole thing. I'm glad. Because what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Oh my gosh, bro. This guy is. I see why you lost 300 subs, bro. I see why you lost 300 followers. You probably have lost way more since this debate. To be honest, it has to be way more than 300 now, because this did it. What are you talking about? And what's up with like the guy's just weird. I mean, but this is what happens. Like I said, this is typically what's expected from the people who talk real big game behind their phones and behind cameras. But when they talk to people that do this for a living, right? That even if you ain't like, you know what I mean, not like a living, like you ain't even got to get paid huge to say you do this full time, anything like that. But when you actually, put in the work to do lives, do podcasts, talk to people, even when you disagree with them and all types of stuff like that. When you do this, you can just tell the difference between the people that don't. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not no professional debater. But I tell you one thing, I have talked to a lot of people that I disagree with plenty of time on TikTok, on here. I don't care. I don't mind. So it's this weird vibe that this guy is giving off that's like, yeah, bro, you don't do this. I can tell that you are literally a Twitter warrior, right? You have a lot of Twitter fingers. You do these videos behind a camera and you talk a big game because it's pre-recorded. But you just not somebody that really act like this in live time. And that's an issue because you're two-faced. You're not really standing on any of the stuff that you was talking about in the videos. Or it's crazy, bro. Like the sarcasm will piss me off too. Yeah, I'm like, because what are you being sarcastic for? I don't really think you understand how dumb you look right now in front of all these people.
That's like the lateral crawl thing, because Candace says it. Suddenly it's an advanced military maneuver.
I understand.
And now you're backwards rationalizing. Well, I've never seen video evidence of how many lateral crawls have occurred. It's like, dude, you need to even ask yourself that.
Fine. You're harping on this one thing that I said I got you. The passive aggressiveness don't really suit you, Warren.
I'm not.
This is what I'll say, bro.
Yeah,
you've been passive aggressive majority of the interview. I've just ignored most of it. This is what I'll say to you, bro. Okay. What doesn't make sense to me is that you are not familiar with more than 80% of this case. Yet you're 80% convinced that Tyler Robinson did this. Most of the things that's been discovered, dude, you're not familiar with it, bro. I'm very shocked.
I went into this debate saying, based off of the debate between Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens.
Fair enough.
Analyzing I'm
about
not
the case.
trying to make a claim as though I've gone through all these theories.
Fair.
I have humored it to try and examine your logic and how you approach rationalizing things. And there's some, just be careful, because you don't want to go down, you don't let this consume you.
Don't let what consume me? You calling me a conspiracy theorist?
No, viewing things through a narrative. Narrative is incredibly powerful because we make sense of the world through narrative.
I understand what you're saying.
And so when you start viewing these things through a narrative, suddenly a glass on the ground, like, dude, that doesn't look like a road microphone, like someone, and then someone who wants it to be true demonstrates the thing. They climb
so
to the
you
roof,
were being
they break.
sarcastic with that as well. So
Dude, I've been sarcastic this entire time. You should be able to pick up on that, but I don't want to be rude as well. But I'm genuine. I
so
wanted
you decided
to
take a conversation to be sarcastic. No, you that's a defense mechanism. You're sarcastic because you can't actually discuss the case. That's why.
That's an interesting read on it.
I think that's a pretty accurate read. Who would have set up the conversation about the debate, let alone the case, discuss it, and decide to be sarcastic majority of the time? You said that the glass in the bottom of the SUV doesn't look like it could be shredded pieces of road mic. Fine. What does it look like to you?
But that does not. When I look at that, I do not. There's nothing there.
When you look at the images of Tyler, it could be Tyler. It could not be Tyler.
So let me compare. Let me understand this. So you're comparing, when I look at that a glass on the floor, if I don't see that as a road mic, that's the equivalent of looking at an image where Tyler says, I'm on the security footage. We have confessions, DNA, all these other factors leading to that, to that conclusion. And you're comparing that to me not thinking that glass looks like a road mic.
Right.
My
position is not that my position is not that you should believe that it is a road mic. I'm saying that it's possible based on what it looks like. That's all.
It's possible that could be a road mic.
Sure.
That's not.
You said it doesn't look like it.
That's not. But that's not the same thing as me taking all these different factors with confession, all these, and saying that would make a reasonable. That probably is him in the footage. Then.
So
and you
fair
say
enough.
that you're
so
silly to come to that conclusion, because that could be. It could be a road mic. It might not be.
All right. So just final thoughts. If you can give us the top 5 to 7 pieces of evidence you say convinced you that Tyler Robinson did this, based on what we went over in today's video.
I would be based
for the people that don't know, that is a great way to end a debate, a conversation, or any of that, just because, like, just so you can just hear these people come up with BS when you say, okay, remember, you said the evidence is overwhelming, so please let me just hear your list of overwhelming evidence. I had the same conversation with the lawyer that was on the channel a couple of weeks back. And I said, before you get off, can you please explain again your positioning and where you stand as far as the overwhelming evidence that you said there is? And he was cool, right? Nick was cool, but if we just being real, he deflected and he went into another conversation. Like, he didn't name off any of the overwhelming evidence. So it's like, when you can't do that, then what are we talking about? You said it's overwhelming evidence. If you're overwhelmed, explain to me how you're overwhelmed. I'm giving you the opportunity, please. And for somebody, especially similar to Didi, I'm like, bro, I am open, okay? But you have to make it make sense, though, right? You don't tell me that it's overwhelming and you hit me with I'm 75% sure, because I'm already not taking you serious. Or it's overwhelming and then you name off a couple of things that I'm like, for example, the DNA. When people was like, I'm overwhelmed, and they bring up the DNA, and it's like, okay, bro, but the DNA is Lance Twiggs is on everything, right? Lance Twiggs' DNA is on everything. It was Tyler Robinson's gun, so that's not really like crazy, overwhelming DNA evidence, right? The degrading prints is very compelling, because if you shove the gun down your pants, right? You shove the gun down your pants. So you should have all of that DNA because it's in your pants. And for them to say he has the most degraded fingerprints when he just had a gun down his pants, or degraded DNA when he had the gun down his pants, doesn't make any sense. So it's like, anytime you end the conversation with this and it's like, please, bro, list off all the overwhelming evidence, and they can't do it. Case closed. What are we talking about?
On that were
you that if you can give us the top 5 to 7 pieces of evidence you say convinced you that Tyler Robinson did this, based on what we went over in today's video.
I would be based on that were presented in the debate. So we met to debate my coverage of the debate, which we did, but we moved on very quickly. Like you didn't want to really go into that, it seemed. And then I did humor you just to try and, because you're a nice guy and I enjoy talking, and it's fascinating as well. And then I suddenly realized, like, oh shit, dude, this guy, like, this is some next level. Like there's some value there to that, because I have a chance to speak to someone who views the world this way. That's interesting. So it's not all about me. It's not all about just.
It's likewise.
So he said, man, I was trolling you, bro, but I genuinely felt bad for you, man. Like I was trolling you so good, and I was being so sarcastic, and it was working. Like it was working so well that I just felt so bad, because I was like, dang, bro, like there's potential to you, DD. You know, there's potential to you. Like you actually, you know, there's potential of you actually being a smart person. You're not smart right now at this moment. There's potential. Boy, if you nah, bro. Ain't no way, man. He's no, ain't no way. Talking like this.
Making fun of you. There is some of that, but I'm genuinely interested in understanding the psychology.
Fair. You are your own man. You're free to do that. I believe it's very immature. But you are free to do that. I look at you the same way. When I saw your video, I was baffled. I thought it was extremely superficial.
What baffles you about that?
Listen, bro, it's not 30 where I am, man. We've had 2 hours on the dot, actually, to discuss this. You decided to spend most of it being sarcastic, which is very strange.
I was just going along for the ride, man. You were. It was cool too, and I appreciate it. Like I learned a lot. I was genuinely interested. I just didn't want to be like, dude, you're dumb. Like, because I wanted to hear what you thought, you know.
What did you say?
All right, yeah, for sure. So
I just didn't want to be like, dude, it was cool too, and I appreciate it. Like I learned a lot. I was genuinely interested. I just didn't want to be like, dude, you're dumb. Like, because I wanted to hear what you thought, you know.
All right, yeah, for sure. So
what? No. Yeah, man, I wanted to hear you. I didn't want to just tell you was dumb outright. You know what I mean? So I wanted to hear all of your reasonings and explanations and all these things that make up on why I think you're dumb. And I just wanted to just listen to it all. I didn't want to just tell you were dumb up front. I wanted it to go along. I wanted to hear your dumb thought process. And then towards the end, I'm gonna just tell you how dumb you are. Oh my gosh. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You know what I mean? I definitely don't claim to be professional. I'm very laid back, very chill. You know what I mean? We already talk about it. That's why it's Yappisodes over here. Shout out to DD, because he always, you know, he got the blazer on. He's definitely a professional individual. I just like to be comfortable. Yeah, you ain't finna get that off. You ain't finna get that off. You ain't finna get that off, bro. Like, no. Been sitting here for 2 hours talking to you, right? Wasting my time, wasting your time, whatever. Ain't no way you finna sit here and try to get that off. It's not happening, bro. Ain't no way buddy just sat there and called DD dumb. I didn't want to just call you dumb up front, so I just wanted to wait to the end of the video to call you Woo!
What are those top 5-7 pieces?
Dumb. Like, appreciate it. Like I learned a lot. I was genuinely interested. I just didn't want to be like, dude, you're dumb. Like, because I wanted to hear what you thought, you know.
All right, yeah, for sure. So what are those top 5-7 pieces of evidence? Is it the blurry images or the blurry video?
A confession is multiple confessions seems like something that is not insignificant. Now, yeah, they might be forced. It might all be phony, but
we literally spoke about those pieces of evidence and why they're in question. He's still calling it confessions. Okay.
My understanding is that he says in text, there are text messages. My understanding is there are text messages where he says, yeah, you'll see me in the footage. They discussed it in the debate. His parents discussing it with him, confronting him on it. He confessed. He turned himself in, finding DNA, finding a rifle that they say belonged to his grandfather, and then security footage. There are things that are strange. People should think for themselves, but also don't lash out at people who are the ones who are actually don't have their minds made up, who are actually leaving room for the unknown.
But you say this, you don't have your mind made up, but the position you seem to take doesn't seem that way at all.
No, I've made it as clear as I can, where I think it is more likely, like if I were to put my money, actual money on based on what is available, based on the data points, what would most likely yield a return on my investment, That's where I would put my money. It's not that I feel a certain way about Candace or Andrew.
Yeah.
That's just rational thought.
Okay. Yeah, I have to state here before you go, man. It's a bit. I'm new to this, and I think it's very clear how naive I am to discussing topics with people that I deem to be intelligent, and I mean that genuinely, who decide to be misleading with their intent and just
I apologize.
very passive aggressive. No,
I apologize
I do want to say
if that was
out.
manipulative.
It kind of scares me. I'm going to be honest. That's a bit dangerous to me. I'm afraid of people like you, bro. Because people like you that can come off that way. Maybe if I had known you for a number of years, I would have clocked the sarcasm and passive aggressive energy a lot sooner. But because I don't know you, in your videos, you come off as very laid back and reserved. That I just truly felt like this was your approach. But you're one of those people you gotta.
Yeah, and that's why, like, that's what we was talking about at the very beginning, right? The very beginning of this debate, debacle, whatever is going on right now. Because you could just tell that Buddy was just so unserious from the first time he spoke. He was unserious. It just, yeah. I mean, him saying the same thing. I'm 75% sure. The evidence is overwhelming, but I'm only 75% sure. I'd put all my money, every dollar I got in my account, I would put my money on Tyler Robinson being the one that did it. But, you know, I'm only 75% sure. And then 10 minutes later, he says, I'm not even convinced that Tyler Robinson did it. Was it sarcasm? I don't know. But I would have said it then, like, all right, bro, we good. You know what I mean? Or, because I'm also, you know what I mean? I'm up for conversation to a degree, right? It probably would not have lasted 2 hours. No way. Maybe like 1 hour. Something that I would have maybe thought would have went 2 hours plus, or maybe no time limit at all. I'm going to definitely be like, yeah, we got a hard stop. 45 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes. I'm going to let you get your sarcasm off. You can get all of whatever passive aggressive stuff you got going on. You can get all of that off, but I give you 45 minutes of my time. Okay, outside of that, get the freak off my screen. Get off my stream.
Watch, man, because I guess you think you're so smart that you can get one over on a person you don't deem to be intelligent. And there's like an inside joke happening the entire time. And I'm the only one that don't understand it. It's extremely rude. And I think it undermines you and your intelligence to approach a conversation about a case that you clearly don't know very much about.
Well, I don't mean, I apologize if it is rude. It just kind of started
when is
playing
being
out
passive
that way.
aggressive in a serious conversation not rude?
I wasn't trying to be passive. I wasn't passive aggressive. That's a different. I'm not being aggressive. Like, what would an example of me being aggressive be in this conversation?
Okay, cool.
Well, I mean, cool. You can label these things to people, but you are a nice guy, man. I
actually believe that you're serious when you say that, and part of the reason I believe that is because I am a nice guy. I'm not a rude person.
You are, yeah.
I'm a passionate person. But then you have people who think that they're so smart that certain people in conversations are beneath them.
Look, to be fair, it started as a point where I was trying to make a point about Candace, and I genuinely felt let down. Like, she just kind of like wussed out.
That's how me and many others felt about your video, brother. I think it was very superficial, and I think the way you're covering this case is very superficial, or I should say covering the way you covered the debate. It was very one-sided. You say you mentioned Andrew. You mentioned at the very end, and of course you're free to do and talk whatever you want about. Talk about whatever you want in your videos for sure. All I'm going to say is I have a right as a person that respected you and your views to be a bit more objective.
You said have you watched my content before this, or was this you just kind of like upset with me for talking about Candace?
No, that's the reason I had an issue with it. Like, I was like, dude, your content is super dope. You're like common sense. You're very objective, or at least you came off as very objective. So that's what led me to that conclusion. I wouldn't have known.
Why does it upset you that like what I said in that video? Like, why would that mean you're not going to talk to me?
Well, I didn't say I'm not going to talk to you, bro. I didn't say that.
Okay, well, that's all I'm asking for. It's just like don't let disagreement over.
I totally agree. I don't hate you. I don't dislike you. I was just disappointed in the video. Humans, we're always going to disagree on something. There's no beef here at all. Cool. I still respect you as a intellectual, despite you not giving me the same respect.
I'm trying. I get your point.
I don't need you to try. I don't want your respect, to be honest with you, Warren. You're going to have mine. That's all that matters. I think it's cornball behavior to approach another grown man with that approach, right? If you were speaking to an idiot or somebody you deemed to be an idiot, which is probably your perspective, I would better understand. I'm an educated man. That was unnecessary to approach it. You cheated the audience. Yeah.
Where is this coming from? Something? Are you like reading comments or something?
No.
What caused this flip? Because I was like, I feel
because your sarcasm and your passive aggressiveness picked up at the end, and you specifically said I've been sarcastic throughout this entire interview. Excuse me?
Oh, I got. Well, I don't take it that way, dude. I mean, there was like
I
I'm
shouldn't trust
genuinely
what you
trying to. Okay, all right. I mean, I'm genuinely trying to explore these things and make certain points.
Bro, I'm trying my best to click out of this video because I want to go to the next thing, but I'm amazed right now. I genuinely am amazed at what's happening because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what Warren's. I mean, they go. Oh, okay, DD goes into his supers. So they are about to get off. Because I was like, I don't know how this continues right now. I don't know how this keeps going. I don't know what Warren's point is after the gimmick is up, after he gives his gimmick up. What are we doing? But I'm amazed because he just keeps going. He keeps saying crazy stuff. He did, and I'm genuinely interested because I'm like, yeah, these people like this are very interesting and concerning. And yeah, like, you know, Didi handled it well because I for sure, it's just me, I'm like, yeah, I don't respect you. I'm not gonna lie, I don't. And I know you don't respect me either. But you know, that gives props to Didi for him to say like, hey, bro, I still respect you even though you don't respect me. Shout out to him for doing that because I definitely am somebody that will give you the same exact energy that you give me. And I would have said the same thing. I'm like, look, I don't respect you. You don't respect me. I don't respect you. Like, you think I'm dumb? I may not go that far, but listen, you definitely wasted my time because what are we talking about? You spent this entire time being passive aggressive. You spent this entire time being sarcastic. For what? For what? For what? Explain your reasonings on what makes you logically think that Tyler Robinson did it. Just explain your positioning. You make videos about it. So why are you being passive aggressive right now? Like, just explain it. There's no reason to do this whole gotcha thing and all this other stuff. And then, oh my gosh, bro. I still can't believe that he went into the whole. I just didn't want to call you dumb in the very beginning. Excuse me?
I'm not pretending to think these things. Like,
well, let's do this. Let's do this. It's 9:38. You are open to have a conversation at the very least. I do.
It's cool.
I appreciate that part. Do what?
We got to run. I know it's late. Don't worry about
it. If you would love to have another conversation in the near future, Warren, I know you don't go live. I actually meant to say this at the very beginning. I noticed that your last live was literally about Charlie Kirk being shot. And ironically, my first time seeing the footage was on camera and I cried. I was on live and I went to Twitter X, not expecting to see it. And I saw the footage and I cried. And so I thought that was incredible that was displayed all across the internet. Blew my mind. Tragic. And so I think one thing we can end this video on a high note is that we both respected many things about Charlie Kirk. I think we can both agree on that. I do believe that Charlie Kirk was well on his way to becoming president of this country. I do not believe J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio would have beat out Charlie Kirk. I think he had the youth, and I think that is incredibly powerful. And so for me, I just want to know what happened, and I care about what's been presented, what has not been presented.
Y'all said Warren got 600,000 followers. Wait, really? Warren got 600K subs and he over here complaining about losing 300? Bro, these people are way too obsessed with stuff like that, man. I mean, that's one thing. The second thing is, dude, this was a terrible look to have that type of support and support base, fan base, whatever you want to call it. This was a terrible look. What's wrong with Didi inviting him back? Didi's the man. He prides himself on being a good man, period. What happened to the basic respect? I used to watch this guy too. Never thought he'd be a complete jerk to speak with. Yeah, I mean, this was a very, very, very bad look for him. Very bad look. To go into the conversation saying that you were intentionally being disingenuous, you were intentionally being passive aggressive, sarcastic. What? Why? What do you get from that? There's no gotcha moments here. We're sitting here talking about a case that is not an open and shut case. There's a lot of holes in it. There's a lot of there are people getting paid six figures to millions of dollars defending one side or the other, right? One side or the other. So to sit here and say I'm dumb because I'm taking one side is crazy work, bro. I'm not calling you dumb for taking your side. That's why we're having this conversation. But this was a bad look. DD liked this content too. I think I remember DD saying that too in his video. He was like, yeah, I typically have liked, yeah, I remember that break. Like he was going through it. He was like, I liked Warren's content for a long time or something like that. But something has been, and he was like, ever since the Charlie Kirk thing, like people changed and this guy is one of them. And so I think I remember that in DD's video. And so, yeah, this was very, very disappointing. Let's get into, yeah, I mean, I'm glad y'all told me to skip around, go to some timestamps. I'll probably watch the middle sometime tonight, maybe tomorrow. But clearly we saw how this ended, and it didn't end well. Let's get into Candace's video to see what she dropped today about Terryl Farnsworth, apparently. Because, yeah, that was surprising. I definitely was expecting to only watch about 20 to 35 minutes of that debate, whatever that was. But, yeah, that went longer than usual because I was just shocked. I was shocked at how that went. It was so weird. It was so awkward. All right, let's see.
All right, you guys, happy Wednesday. Have to tell you right at the top here, I am
We got
exhausted.
chapters. Yeah, we got chapters. All right, let's see. Apparently, somebody said earlier that Candace dropped some more info on Terryl Farnsworth. I'm reading the comments. Sorry if I'm like talking delayed. Exclusive footage. What happened with the cameras? TPUSA gaslighting, misunderstanding Trump and how the narrative began. TPUSA pushing an idea, coordination with the left. All right, I think this is it.
Okay, you know what I realized? For those of you who watched Game of Thrones, yeah, where are my Game of Thrones people on HBO? I'm so shocked when people say they didn't watch it. It was very good. I mean, maybe not the ending, but a lot of it. I'm basically like the Arya Stark character. I can relate to Arya Stark. Don't worry, I'm going to briefly describe to you, broadly speaking. Okay, great. Game of Thrones is about.
Hold on, I'm skipping through. Let me see. I know somebody didn't lie to me. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm like, I know somebody sent me something about footage she dropped today. Y'all are funny, bro. I'm telling you, y'all make my night every night. The comments, I just be reading and cracking up. I think that debate was still more important than the great debate. I can't agree yet because I don't know what they argued about in the evidence. But I said it before that I wanted to watch that whole thing in full, and I still will because I feel like it will be a better conversation than the great debate. So I agree with you, Ash, because I don't know what that great debate was. They didn't really talk about much, but us regular folks that do it for free, we get into the weeds of everything. There's no holding back. So I think by default we have better conversations than these people who I guess get paid the big bucks to have surface level conversations and then walk away with mortgages and all types of crazy cash. But that's why I was like, oh yeah, two regular people talking about this case, regardless of who it is, just two people that are like passionate about their side, is a way better conversation 10 times out of 10 than Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens.
Your own mind. Take a look. If you're listening to this on audio, here is Terryl. He's bending down and he's opening his laptop and
hold on. Whoa, how did we get here?
Like I said, there were good guys in government. Charlie is dead. And then all of that within 4 minutes. He's taken that footage down 4 to 5 minutes. He's around the bend, got it in his pocket texting. Well, today we can share with you my very own October surprise. I call it an October surprise because I've had it since October. I've been interested in Terryl since October. Well, since September when I spoke to him, and it just felt off. Intuition. And like I said, there were good guys in government working behind the scenes. And what I learned is that after he pocketed that, he then pretty immediately opened up his laptop. And apparently, in my opinion, that's what I observed with my eyes, sticks the SD card in. For what reason, I don't know, but I'll let you make up your own mind. Take a look. You're listening to this on audio. Here is Terryl. He's bending down and he's opening his laptop, and he's certainly sticking something into his laptop as he turns on to his computer. He's reaching in his phone. He's texting with somebody. And yes, some people might be noting that Lane Schoenberger's on the side washing his hands. That makes sense. Don't think too hard about it. He did help carry Charlie into the car, so he's likely just getting blood off of his hands as any person would after that. But you see Terryl, and again, he's texting. He picks up the laptop, and what happens thereafter is he sits facing the other direction and continues onto his laptop, doing what I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like I said, he's first to declare that Charlie is dead because he says he was right there. He just saw, and that was likely going to be the conclusion. Okay, I accept that. He then immediately processes that or goes to grab SD cards, one SD card, puts it into his pockets, races to his laptop. This is all happening within 10 minutes of Charlie getting hit. 10 minutes of Charlie getting hit, according to my source in government, which I trust. I trust this person. I've trusted this person for a while. Your own mind.
I'm watching this clip again, so forgive me.
Take a look. You're listening to this on audio. Here is Terryl. He's bending down and he's opening his laptop, and he's certainly sticking something into his laptop as he turns on to his computer. He's reaching in his phone. He's texting with somebody. And yes, some people might be noting that Lane Schoenberger's on the side washing his hands. That makes sense. Don't think too hard about it. He did help carry Charlie into the car, so he's likely just getting blood off of his hands as any person would after that. But you see Terryl, and again, he's texting. He picks up the laptop, and what happens thereafter is he sits facing the other direction and continues onto his laptop, doing what I don't know. I don't know.
It seems like he downloaded that SD card to his computer.
What do you guys think? Like I said, he's first to declare that Charlie is dead because he says he was right there. He just saw, and that was likely going to be the conclusion. Okay, I accept that. He then immediately processes that or goes to grab SD cards, one SD card, puts it into his pockets, races to his laptop. This is all happening within 10 minutes of Charlie getting hit. 10 minutes of Charlie getting hit, according to my source in government, which I trust. I trust this person. I've trusted this person for a while. Any of that feel normal to you? Filming yourself, running, securing, particularly at first, the SD card from behind Charlie's head, looking both ways, putting it in your pocket, grabbing your laptop, and allegedly, maybe it looks to be like putting that SD card into that laptop. Why? You've secured it. We were told from Andrew he was doing this because people can be evil. Okay? Why do you need to get it on your laptop? Because people can be evil. What's going to happen? It's in your pocket. Why can't you just hand it over to the police if it's evidence and you're trying to be helpful? Just hand the SD card over to the police. They were there. I mean, that's the Turning Point USA narrative, that he was just grabbing SD cards to secure the evidence. But he had already secured it. Why do we now need a laptop? Law enforcement, again, I would like to stress, they know how to use an SD card. The feds know how to use an SD card. The SBI knows how to use an SD card. The local police, the UVU police, everybody knows how to use an SD card. I can guarantee you that. It's not for me to decide the why, right? I'm just being transparent. My goal is just transparency. Now, were I Andrew Colvett, I would be upset that Terryl perhaps misrepresented his aims. I'd also would maybe like to know why he appears to be so nervous, who he's texting as he keeps doing this with. It's just a lot of texting in between. We can infer. Well, we can under Utah 1102. We can infer. You could say, like, is somebody telling him what to do? Grab that camera, do this, upload it. We can ask questions. Is Andrew Colvett going to ask questions? Nah. I'm going to imagine that Andrew won't be too bothered by it at all. He's going to instead issue another round of attacks on me. That's my guess. But the reality is that we were told that there was nothing special about the camera behind Charlie's head. And I would argue that there clearly was. So special, in fact, that I'm now going to demonstrate to you something that I didn't catch earlier.
And then you got to remember, they also, I think in the prelim, they said that Terryl Farnsworth handed over a flash drive. That is totally different than an SD card. You can put whatever you want on the flash drive. The SD card has the raw footage from the camera. Once you download that SD card to your computer, you can do whatever you want with that footage and then put that footage on a flash drive and hand the flash drive over. For the ones that are not like tech savvy, the flash drive cannot go into a camera. So it's not authentic. It's not raw. It could be, but you could edit things to go on a flash drive. But if you got an SD card and you handed that SD card over to the feds, to the police, that SD card, you can't edit nothing on that SD card. That was straight out of the camera. So the fact that Terryl Farnsworth handed them an SD card, my fault, a flash drive, I don't know. That's part of kind of like what we were talking about last night on this episode, or on the episode, about like, why are all these things happening? And like, there are no arrests. It's like Big Jeffrey, the files all over again. People are getting exposed and nothing's happening. Because that is diabolical. This is back-to-back days of Terryl Farnsworth looking very incriminating, and nothing's gonna happen. No statement, no nothing. That's my prediction. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting out of it. That's kind of like the pattern recognition of what's been going on over the last year, is that Terryl Farnsworth has been exposed of doing extremely shady things with his laptop and SD card and putting it in his pocket and all this type of stuff. But TPUSA isn't going to come out and say anything. Nobody's going to care. And it just blows my mind, the fact that the feds questioned this guy months later. I forgot what the date was. I think it was back in May, if I'm remembering correctly, according to the prelim. They waited until May, and I could be wrong, but they definitely waited a couple of months to get this guy on record with an official statement, the 1102 statement. And that was it. Nothing else from him. And look at this guy. He's literally doing all of this weird stuff. I don't know, man. It's so great. I think like a year later, you start to look at this stuff and it's like, bro, these people are so guilty. Allegedly, what it appears to be. And nobody cares. It's crazy.
Terryl actually steps over the camera, which was designated to capture the crowd. The camera that was being operated behind Charlie, that's kind of on that little turntable, if you will. He steps over that camera to get to the camera behind Charlie's head. Again, I hadn't realized this before. So remember, we had showed you this camera diagram just to give you a visual here. Here it is again. So we have red, camera behind his head, and yellow. I want to point that one out. That camera, the yellow one, is going to fall. Pay attention to it. It goes down actually right after Charlie is taken away. It sort of just gets knocked. And again, according to Terrell's 1102 statement, we know that that's filming the audience, in particular, the individuals that are asking questions. So it's going to fall to the ground. I'll show you that right now. It might be again because it seems to be on a rotator. Bam. Okay. So it's just under now. It's just under the footage behind Charlie's head. So when Terryl appears approximately 3 minutes later to take the SD card from the camera behind Charlie's head, he steps over it. Steps over the yellow camera. And therefore he is stepping over its encompassed SD card. And then he disappears behind the tent. Take a look at that. It's on the floor. It's right there. You see him take the camera down and just steps right over it. So if
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, I remember him saying that he cares all about the cameras and they don't want nobody to steal it. And that camera took a hard fall. Like I felt that camera myself. I felt it. Like that's one of the ones that's like, dang, that's tough. Like when you drop your phone and you see somebody drop your phone, you're like, that's a tough one. That was how that camera was. That's a very expensive camera that just hit the ground like that. That hurt. And bro, my freaking dog hair. There it is. That was a very expensive camera, and he just stepped over it.
Andrew's narrative, which was shared, is that he was concerned about grabbing the SD cards. Why did we step over and leave that one and take the one behind his head, which certainly wasn't facing the Losey Center? Why not just grab them both right there? Boom, boom. Worried about people stealing, particularly these SD cards? Okay, grab them both back to back. Grab all three right in that moment. He didn't do that. I feel these are fair questions. And for clarity, because it cannot be overstated enough, all we are seeking are clear answers from the organization that Charlie built, okay? We are not asking for people to be harassed, even though they are seeding the narrative and asking their media friends to put articles like I'm some digital assassin for sharing the truth, which they claim to want. No, we don't want anybody to get hurt. We just want you guys to be honest. I also want to say this. Public lies, or let's assume they aren't lies, actually. Let's say they are just honest mistakes with no ill intent. They still need to be addressed publicly. They deserve to be treated with the same public attention, the same public accountability, especially from an organization that exists as a charity, right? They rely upon our goodwill. As an example, when Erica publicly stated with confidence on Glenn Beck's show that Charlie was not sending text messages the night before.
That's the only part that, you know, I've said a million times, and it applies to the situation right now too, is Turning Point hasn't addressed anything in a long time. And I guess if you want to pinpoint the last time they addressed something, I would say is the weird 5-second clipped up, I appoint my wife, Erica, as CEO, if something happens to me, she would do a good job. Like that weird clipped up video. That was kind of like the last time they addressed something. Outside of that, they don't really say much. Erica hasn't said anything since, directly about the case itself since like December. Is when she was in cahoots with Andrew Wilson. God, they done thrown this guy on us so much that I'm over here slipping up saying Andrew Wilson. With Andrew Kovac with the picture of the fake kids. But as far as addressing anything else, I mean, she dressed up in all black, all weird, and said Candace Owens is accusing me of murdering my husband, but she hasn't really addressed anything. Turning Point USA has not really addressed anything since the Aspen video, and they came out and said they were trolling and they were laughing about it. So these are the times that I just, again, just a little bit of a nudge and a push of just being like, listen, bro, it's been a very, very, very long time. TPUSA is not going to respond. They haven't. They haven't responded to the last 15 requests. So if she's waiting on something for them to do, then I don't know, because they haven't really done anything. Like they didn't do anything to prompt this video of Terryl Farnsworth being guilty. Now, obviously, Terryl Farnsworth lied, but he lied like a long, long time ago. Like this isn't anything like extremely new. So I don't know. I just know that I was just pointing out that Turning Point USA hasn't said anything or responded to anything. They haven't addressed anything in forever. So prediction is that I don't really expect them to address anything now.
Or signaling that he was worried he was going to be killed. It then becomes incumbent upon Erica herself to correct the record publicly when we learn that that isn't true. That's how you build goodwill with the public. Take accountability. Like when we make honest mistakes on the show, we always own them. We always correct them as immediately as we have more information, as publicly as when we first asserted them. When it comes to Turning Point USA, it's just amazing. It feels like we're just being perpetually gaslit by them. We're offered a biblical proverb. Like how dare you even ask us to explain why what we told you before is completely inconsistent with what we're saying now? They're just suggesting that we're evil for noticing these various inconsistencies and illogical points that are being presented by them. Why? I don't know if it needs reminding, but in this country, it is innocent until proven guilty. So why does it seem that Turning Point USA and the representatives and their affiliates are so hell-bent on sending a 22-year-old young man to his death? He's up for the death sentence. Why are they bringing influencers into the courtroom? Why are they, as Blake Neff has done repeatedly?
Y'all know what I said. Y'all remember what I said. I ain't going to say it again right now. Because if you know, you know. But listen to this statement and then think about what we talked about.
Repeatedly complainant, so hell-bent on sending a... So why does it seem that Turning Point USA and the representatives and their affiliates are so hell-bent on sending a 22-year-old young man to his death? He's up for the death sentence. Why are they bringing influencers into the courtroom? Why are they, as Blake Neff has done repeatedly, completely misrepresenting court filings to the public in order to do just that, to assert that Tyler Robinson is guilty? This is a tweet, by the way, from just this morning from Blakey. He's already been community noted on it for its intentional misrepresentation. He just lies and misrepresents, and we're the bad guys for noticing that he's doing it. This is what the tweet read. He wrote, Utah prosecutors have responded to Tyler Robinson's defense filing ahead of the final preliminary hearing and confirms what observers pointed out about that filing. The defense is very conspicuously not contesting any of the core evidence showing Tyler Robinson committed the murder. They don't contest the camera footage, the DNA, the rifle, the cause of death, or Tyler's phone data. All they have is a complaint about reliable hearsay, which won't apply at the full trial anyway, and then attacks on the aggravating factors. If there was any merit at all to any of the theories that Candace and them have pushed the last 11 months, why didn't the defense bring them up? And he gets community noted before I can even reply, because it's stunning to me that he thinks he can get away with this. It says, preliminary hearings decide only probable cause. Under the Utah 1102 standard, reliable hearsay is allowed. Defense counsel often skip alternative theories to avoid previewing their strategy before the trial. Silence does not prove that those theories lack merit. Okay, that is correct. And I'm going to explain this to you actually thoroughly, because maybe you're a person who isn't involved in lawsuits. And that's what Blake Neff is banking on when he lies. That's what they're banking on when they take stuff from these filings and they present it to the public. They go, I hope these public doesn't know anything about how legal filings work. Okay. Yes, preliminary hearings are not about discovering guilt or innocence. It is about arguing whether or not the filing itself is defective. Okay. Like, is there something wrong with this filing that makes it so I don't even have to argue? So the prosecution is coming in and they are going to state, look what I say he did, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting things. I saw a text message right here. What is this? Let me see what this is.
Releasing the back footage, remove suspicion. Why live with the public wrongly believing that you had anything to do with the assassination if you quite literally hold the means to dispel those rumors? I would have released that footage so quickly. Same day. Footage is already going on around. This is not gory. Here you guys go. Sadly, alas, Andrew told me that they couldn't because of law enforcement. Here's a text chain from September 24th. I said, something that I can't get off my mind is, why was Terryl there hovering around Charlie? I've literally never done any campus event where Terryl is just hovering behind us like that. It's just so odd to me that he's there and constantly hovering. He came back and said, I have zero concern about Terryl. He's done that at a lot of events. Okay. And he usually starts the tour seasons to make sure they are well set up. Well, it seems to us that that was new as we went back and looked at footage. Certainly not any tour I've been on. I said back to him, I don't get why not just release the footage then. It's just such a nonsense not to release the footage and clear your name. Like, if the whole world suspected that I was implicated in a crime and I had literal video footage that could clear my name, I would immediately release it. I don't get the logic. And he said, that's in the preview of law enforcement. He meant in the purview of law enforcement. Again, it's difficult for me to imagine accepting, if it was in the purview of law enforcement, accepting a scenario where I would not just release, or at the very least attempt to leak footage that would clear my name. I mean, you should imagine it's like, I literally have footage that I didn't do this thing that people think I did or think that I was being weird at. And just like law enforcement's like, yeah, but don't release that. Why would they say that? Also, what right would the federal government or responding officers in Utah have to your personal property outside of a warrant? Right? Everyone was posting clips from their phones. Everyone was recording that day. That's actually how we all watched Charlie's final moments, right? People were recording it. A police officer can't just go up to you and say, your phone is now in the purview of law enforcement. They can certainly ask you to share the footage willingly, and you can and should comply with that if it's helpful to find a criminal. I know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I thought, let me see something else. Trump. Yeah, I remember that. Let me see what he said again. I got to refresh my memory.
Recognizes even.
I want to show you on Rewind what Trump said. Take a listen.
Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, and went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister.
He's describing Mike Mitchell. Mike Mitchell is not just his Boy Scout leader. He's not just the former police officer, undercover police officer, and all the evidence points to the fact that he did work undercover in sex crimes, which is a running theme in the story. But he is also a minister at the Mormon Church. It was him that recognized Tyler Robinson and got the ball rolling, which I have been saying from the beginning. And they just keep coming out with a narrative. And
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, it doesn't look too good for Terryl Farnsworth. It doesn't look too good. He looks like a very, very guilty man. Nobody moves that way. And then this goes to, yeah, I don't even want to get into that theory right now, but you know, it's just very interesting, bro. All of these people just did shady stuff. We already know that. It's just crazy seeing it all be, you know, released, and now we get to finally see it. And I'm assuming more will come out soon, especially with September coming around, which, you know, the judge is going to rule if this thing is going to trial, which I would assume so. If Tyler Robinson isn't eliminated earlier, that would prevent that. I want to bring up a clip from Barron too, because someone sent me something about a plane spying on Barron and Candace. I could have that wrong, but
all right, guys, welcome in. Welcome.
That's what I was told. So I want to just listen to that segment really quick. Let's see. Search warrant for Tyler Robinson's house. Search warrant, Timpanogos Hospital. Search warrant. Barron going through the case, which I love. I love his breakdowns. That's not it. I know y'all don't see it right now. I'm just pulling up on the side just to see if I can see it. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. I didn't see it on that video just now. That was yesterday. Does anybody know what stream, which live Barron showed that? Somebody told me about it, but I thought it would have been recent, right? I just clicked on yesterday. I know it wasn't today. Or was it today?
Good afternoon, fellow decoys. If the sound sucks, tell me and I'll fix it. We made a few.
Let me see if it was today. I'm not sure. I can't find it, but I might come across it in my bookmarks that I have on X. So let me see. I got some stuff to show y'all. Like always. And there go one of them right here. So I might find the apparently there was like a spy plane or something that was like over Tennessee on like I think Friday or Saturday, where you know, Barron and Candace stay in Tennessee. So many people stay in Tennessee. It's crazy. Like from what I've been told, you know, don't call me a stalker. Okay, this is public information, but apparently there was like, I think I heard Gary Paramount Tactical say Coach live in Tennessee, Barron, Candace, is I can only name 3. I think it's more. Was Ian Carroll too? It might have been Ian Carroll, Sean Ryan. It's so many people, bro. Like, it could be a coincidence, maybe. Well, you know what I mean? Maybe it's like a cheaper place. Maybe it's something with taxes. I don't know. But I was like, dang, that's crazy. Like, everybody just in the neighborhood. Like, it's wild. Look at this picture, this video right here of looking down to see him flying overhead. Yesterday it came up on Super. Today he mentioned it on the show. Oh, it was a super chat. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to I have to do my homework and find some timestamps. I definitely don't want to waste nobody's time. All right. So y'all know we played a clip yesterday of Erica talking about the evil eats itself and the Lord confuses you and just like weird stuff. But apparently, here's another clip of her at Turning Point USA. Yeah, TPUSA faith event with some more word salad. So let's check out this one to see what she's preaching.
God uses everything, and you surrender that, and you don't shrink back from that, and you just know that what he started and what he has built has been entrusted to each and every one of us. God uses everything, and you surrender that, and you don't shrink back from that, and you just know that what he started and what he has built has been entrusted to each and every one of us, and also to you, and that mission and legacy lives on, and we will not ever let it die. I don't care what internet bot or troll says that, it won't, because it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with God, and the heavens is roaring, and we will make sure that we reclaim every piece of territory that the enemy has taken.
Bro, it's so trash that it's just funny. It's just funny. It's just funny at this point.
God uses everything, and you surrender that, and you don't.
Yeah, I thought the only reason I heard about the coach one is because Gary Paramount Tactical, like their group chat or some call was exposed or something like that, and it was like, yeah, I know Coach lives in Tennessee. It was somewhat weird. It was on the internet, but that's why I brought it up.
You don't.
We could have moved, but
shrink back from that, and you surrender that, and you don't shrink back from that, and you just know that what he started and what he has built has been entrusted to each and every one of us, and also to you.
Each and every one of us, and also to you. That's the same people, same person.
And that mission and legacy lives on, and we will not ever let it die. I don't care what internet bot or troll says that, it won't, because it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with God, and the heavens is roaring, and we will make sure that we reclaim every piece of territory that the enemy has taken.
Heaven got some lions in it? What are you talking about? Like, lady, what are you talking about? Heaven's roaring, and we
every piece of territory that the enemy has taken. Every piece of territory that.
What are you talking
nothing
about?
To do with us. It has everything to do with God, and the heavens is roaring, and we will make sure that we reclaim every piece of territory that the enemy has taken.
Dude, this woman, it's just, you can just tell it's fake. You can tell it's fake. She doesn't ever make sense. She just puts things together.
Because it has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with God, and the heavens is roaring, and we will make sure that we reclaim every piece of territory that the enemy has taken.
And people in the crowd just eating it up. Every time. Heaven is roaring. Heaven is roaring. Oh my gosh, bro. And she just go on and on. And it's funny because these are the people that fly the private jets, that do all of this stuff, that grift, that constantly go to these places talking about this is the enemy's playground, as they just take advantage of all the loopholes in the system and all. They take advantage of everybody. Right. They do all of these things. They cheat the system, but then they go on here and they talk about how bad and evil the world is, as they just, oh my gosh, man, these people. And for the ones that didn't see yesterday's Yappisode, this is what she said yesterday. I think from the same speech. But she said this yesterday. That was just like, oh my Lord. She is 100% worse than Kamala Harris. I didn't think that was possible.
Evil eats itself. It just does. You just have to wait it out. And that's why if you just wait on the Lord, he will confuse, he will, and he'll just, they'll just give you themselves. It's like, it's a thing. You can watch it, you can watch it in real time. But the
You hear the people in the back. Yep. Yep. She can't even explain what she just said. You explain it. She couldn't even get through it. Yep. Yep.
evil eats itself. It just does. You just have to wait it out. And that's why if you just wait on the Lord, he will confuse, he will, and he'll just, they'll just give you themselves. It's like, it's a thing. You can watch it.
It's just a thing. It's just a thing. Yep. If you wait on the Lord, he'll confuse you. But what? Oh my gosh, man. JR said it's the bull I be talking about. Yeah, bro. You spot on with that. She is diabolical. She just goes around every day preaching, I don't know, false preaching. I don't want to say preaching. And then hold on, there's something else. Plenty more, actually. And then I was gonna do donkey today, but at this point, it wasn't even nothing. It's nothing new.
He picks up the laptop and
Lisa, she obviously reacted to, or she responded to that clip of the evil eats evil, the Lord confuses, and all the other stuff. Bro, she made this whole post. I'm talking about it had to be a book explaining how correct Erica is and this, that, and the third and all that other stuff. And I'm like, bro, Erica didn't even say all that. So how do you know what Erica meant when Erica didn't even know what she was saying? And you just went on she wrote like a whole book, bro. Like, I swear I'm not lying to y'all. I'm not going to read it because I'm not finna get rage baited tonight. But I'm going to just show y'all how long the post is. And of course she's defending her. That's all she does. It doesn't matter what she does. Like, you know, y'all remember she came on this show. She came on this episode. She came on she went on Zach Costello, and when people brought up the relationship between Erica and the 15-year-old girl, Lisa defended that too. I was like, yo, you are a very interesting individual, to say the least. Look, here's her post. I'm not going through it at all. Look at this. This is the video that we just played. Here is Lisa saying the candy cult doesn't read scripture, and it shows, and she goes into this whole spiel explaining for Erica and what she meant. And yeah, I'm just not interested. It just amazes me to see her defend Erica on anything. It's weird behavior. You know, we've been talking about that a lot lately, about like, you should never agree with anyone 100% of the time. Never. But she does. Okay. So this was from yesterday. We played it in the after party last night with the in the members live. And I also forgot to play it on the regular live. But no. Actually, I gotta play this. I gotta look at this. I was supposed to look at this the other day, and I haven't looked at it yet. So I have to look at it right now. Tucci Matt, he's an ex TPUSA employee. And he's been exposing a lot lately. He's been actually very, very good. Shout out to Matt, man. He's put out some great stuff. But he put out a leaked internal TPUSA Telegram message. Let me pull up his tweet right here. Here we go. Leaked internal TPUSA Telegram. Tyler Boyer to staff days before Charlie Kirk's memorial. Okay. The event on Sunday is larger in many respects to any and every major bowl game or Super Bowl. Planning, raw emotion, and number of people involved is beyond human comprehension. Then immediately, it is okay to feel all sorts of ways. Take a break from exhaustion, lean on one another, honor Charlie's legacy. From Super Bowl level hype to emotional care in the same breath. What is this authentic grief? I said grief. What is this authentic grief or a production? The receipts are right here. Uh-oh. The receipts have been dropped. Let's see what it is. It's probably hard to see. I think this is better right here. All right. Tyler Boyer. Hey, everyone. I'm writing from the office. Just wanted to leave you all a note and say a massive thank you. It has been extremely emotional, draining week. Plus, and I know each and every one of you are feeling it in different extents. The event on Sunday is larger in many respects to any and every major bowl game or Super Bowl, and the planning, raw emotion, and number of people involved is beyond human comprehension or capacity. It is okay to feel all sorts of ways, and I want you to take a break from the exhaustion and emotion if you need to. I hope you all will lean on one another, find ways to love one another, and of course, do what you feel is best and right to honor Charlie's legacy on Sunday and beyond. Yeah, I mean, this just exposes the way that they treated it as the event of the century. Nothing new. That's what Erica titled it, labeled it the event of the century, and clearly everybody at TPUSA felt the same way. They treated it like similar to a Super Bowl. Wow. Okay. Proof that these people are horrible, scum from depths of hell. We all need to keep the pressure on them and send them back to where they came from. Thank you, Matt. You were helping to pave the way towards another major turning point in the name of Charlie Kirk. The emotion part was fake and an afterthought. The production is definitely more important to him. Horrible. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, ain't it? Isn't it crazy how, like, I feel like in that very moment, we probably, I mean, maybe a lot of people picked up on it quicker than others. I did not pick up on it on day one. I did not pick up on how performative the memorial was in live time. You know, I remember I was at the park listening to it and watching it. I was at the park with my son. And I remember the only thing I was like thinking of was how the mainstream media wasn't playing the praise and worship part. Like they was like covering like parts of the case. And I didn't even know that it started yet because I was just listening to, I forgot what news station it was. But then when I went on YouTube and looked at Turning Point USA's YouTube page or Charlie Kirk's YouTube page, it was the praise and worship part. And I was like, well, that's crazy. The mainstream media ain't playing that. But as the whole thing went on, the only time I ever kind of felt a little weird was when Trump got up there. When Trump got up there and was like saying all his stuff, that's when I was like, bro, this feels like kind of odd. This is like a Republican convention, a Republican rally. But I didn't really think nothing of it. You know, Erica got up there and did what she did. I didn't really think nothing of it. You know, I tried to, you know, it was so early on. You know, you try to get these people to benefit it out. But yeah, when you look back, it's bad. It's bad. Hindsight is always 20/20, but it was bad. I would never understand why they call Charlie's memorial service an event. Nothing should have been sold on that day. It should have all been about who he was. So sad. 100% agree. They sold so much merch, hat sales. They geo-fenced everybody. They was registering people to vote. That is crazy work. Oh man. Let's not forget about this. Now, this was like one of the most remembered moments in this entire Charlie Kirk investigation was seeing how she responded and how she was on this Zoom call. What is this? 6 days after his death. That is just insane. That is just absolutely insane. Let me see. Let's see if I got anything more for y'all. Oh yeah, I do. My bad. My son messed up my organization. So this was from yesterday. So for the ones that don't know, we have been only one night. One night we talked about how the WNBA was going through a little crisis with women trying to figure out what a woman is. Very, very interesting conversations that the women are having over at the WNBA. A table full of women are circling around trying to figure out what a woman is. And they are going through something right now because ex-NBA players are coming out just identifying as a woman and then declaring for the WNBA draft. And the WNBA is at a crossroads because they're deciding between, defending the woke crowd and being like, anybody can be a woman as long as you just identify and feel it in you. Or them just saying, no, this is what a woman is. These chromosomes, this, that, the third. It's pretty simple on what a woman is. But they don't want to do that. They want to continue to pander to that community and that side of the political aisle, I guess, if you want to talk about the left and the right. They don't want to be the people that are like, discriminating and all this other stuff that the woke crowd be doing. So now they're facing this crisis of ex-NBA players coming out being like, okay, well, I'm a woman. I feel like I'm a woman. So can I play in your league? And they're going through absolute madness right now trying to figure out what a woman is. And so ironically, Angela sent me this video of a clip of Royce White, one of the NBA players that is declaring for the WNBA draft. He actually ended up collabing with Turning Point USA. And so I found that pretty interesting because it's like two worlds colliding, right? We've been covering Turning Point USA for quite some time now. And now this thing is going on with the WNBA that we've been talking about. And Royce White shows up on Turning Point USA's on the Charlie Kirk show. And I was like, well, this is interesting. And so I want to play this clip. And thank you, Angela, for sending this to me. This is absolutely funny. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, prepare yourself. Because what you're about to see is going to crack you up.
Activate in just minutes, but Patriot Mobile is so much more than just a great wireless company. They don't Patriot the service. Patriot Mobile. All right, without further ado, we have a great guest in store for you who's been on an incredible journey.
Nah. That was correct. Women are trying to figure out what a woman is. This is not a man conversation. These are women discussing what a woman is. I don't know.
Personally, professionally, athletically, and emotionally. And that is, of course, Royce White, who has declared herself ready for the WNBA draft or for eligibility. Royce, welcome to the show.
You better get them pronouns correct, Andrew.
It's so good to have you. And I just want to thank you for your courage for what you're
Bro, look at Royce. Oh my gosh, bro. Look at Royce. Oh, bro, it gets better.
Fighting for. And the floor is yours. We want to hear your story.
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's been an incredible journey these last 2 weeks. The trans life is difficult. It's 400 or 500 years of oppression and systemic injustice, denial of our existence. We exist. We have a right to exist. All trans people have a right to exist, but especially your Black transgender lesbians like myself. We especially have a right to exist. And CNN, just this morning, CNN says, oh, well, these two former players, NBA players, are co-opting all of the sweat equity from the WNBA. And who are they to tell us what a real woman is?
That's so true. I mean, they don't know your experience. They don't know the struggles that you've gone through. And I mean, even we can't understand your struggles. Andrew and I certainly don't. All we can do is we need to line up and we need to.
I don't know about y'all. I cannot stand looking at these two. Like it's irrelevant to what's going on right now in this story. But man, I just get like low key triggered when I look at both of them.
Listen, Andrew and I certainly don't on through. And I mean, even we can't understand your struggles. Andrew and I certainly don't. All we can do is we need to line up and we need to listen.
Yeah, when a Black woman talks, people should sit and learn and try and learn what it is that they can't possibly even start to empathize with. I mean, I think there's such a gap between the lived experience of Black trans lesbians and what other people could empathize with. Why even attempt it? Just sit back and let us run the show.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And who are we to inject our own opinions or maybe even judgments? Royce, I want to give you a chance to reply back, though, to the WNBA. There was a meeting yesterday, and I think some of your decisions, your actions in the recent weeks have helped spark this. Obviously, Sophie Cunningham plays for the Indiana Fever. She said that, she wouldn't be supportive of your coming into the WNBA as a trans player, but then a number of players said that they would welcome you in. And so that obviously helped inspire your journey and your courage here. But a statement from a WNBA spokesman yesterday says today's meeting covered a wide range of topics, including ongoing discussions on transgender athletes and the continued hate and vitriol directed.
Shut up, Andrew. Let me read it myself. Statement from the WNBA spokesperson. Today's meeting covered a wide range of topics, including ongoing discussions on transgender athletes and the continued hate and vitriol directed at players online. We will continue to engage all league stakeholders in the coming weeks and months. We will approach these important conversations thoughtfully and in alignment with the values of our league. There are no immediate eligibility. My fault. Yeah, eligibility matters affecting the WNBA. And we strongly denounce the bad faith efforts to use these topics to demean or marginalize others. So in other words, they haven't came to a conclusion yet on what a woman is. They just don't appreciate Royce White and Enes Kanter mocking women and pretending to be a woman and making fun of the WNBA. They don't appreciate that. But yet they still haven't came to a conclusion on what a woman is. So okay, the WNBA. I mean, just imagine, bro. Like you came up with this league to uplift women, right? Provide a space for women to say, like, hey, women deserve to play basketball at the highest level too. And this is what it comes to. This is what it turns to. You can't decide what a woman is. Like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know why women are I don't know, man. I know it's not all women, so I'm not generalizing. It just amazes me that women are the ones having this conversation. I just feel like it's so disrespectful to a woman to just be like, to wake up one day and for a man to just say, I'm a woman. I'm like, the things that women go through that make them a woman, and these women are just cool with being like, if that's what he identifies with, it's baffling. And to be honest, the the only men, you know, again, I'm not trying to generalize, but the only time I ever see men like saying that they're cool with it is usually the men on the feminine side. Like they're the ones, because they're the ones that are also kind of feminine at the same time. I don't ever see like a regular man like myself being like, it's okay. If you're a woman, just be a woman. You know, if you feel like you're a woman, that's okay. You can identify as whatever you want. You know, they got these on your employment papers when you're filling stuff out. I forgot what that last option is, but it's like non-binary or something like that. And I'm like, dog, male, female. That's it. That's it. And they go through all these other loopholes and things. And I'm like, bro, what are we talking about? I saw somebody, they sent their child to school and they paperwork had the stuff on there talking about non-binary and all this other stuff. What is happening, bro? What is happening? But I'm glad. I love the fact that Royce White, that's another NBA player. Royce White and Enes Kanter is exploiting how dumb the WNBA is. They're like, nah, bro, we're going to take advantage of all the loopholes and y'all going to have to pick a side. Y'all going to have to put an end to all of this dumb woke stuff. I love it. I hope they take it to the full extent, and I hope we continue getting these stupid statements coming out saying, hey, a whole bunch of women gathered around the table to figure out what a woman is, and we still couldn't decide what a woman is. All of us women around the table could not decide what a woman is. I hope they continue to put that out there to let us know that, by the way, this proves that, and I'm not saying it at all. I'm not, because I believe women can definitely be in several, they can be in any position they want to. Women are intelligent. But when we have these conversations, they're not realizing that they are kind of like displaying that women can't hold positions in power, because these are the conversations that are being had. You know what I mean? Like, imagine Kamala as president. I'm like, is this what's going on? Are these the conversations that women are having around the table? They don't know what a woman is, but yet y'all want to be in these positions and equal to men. You know what I mean? All these like feminists and stuff like that. This doesn't support your claim. These are the conversations y'all are having. It's crazy.
At Players Online, we will continue to engage all league stakeholders, values, and we strongly deny. I just got to ask people calling what you're doing.
Well, pro number.
I can obviously see that.
Yeah, this is real. This is real.
that this is sincere for you.
Well, number one, I find it offensive that they have any comments on my faith.
Nah, this is real. Anybody that thinks this faith is real. Royce White and Enes Kanter, two NBA players that are huge, by the way. I mean, it don't matter, but I'm saying, like, these are dudes that are like 6'10". Like, Enes Kanter is like 6'10". And he literally signed his papers and he has declared for the WNBA draft. Enes Kanter. Then he's not putting on a costume. He's literally coming as he is. Royce White makes it entertaining because he puts on his costume and he's like, yeah, I'm a woman. Like, I'm in my feminine era. And he does all this other stuff. But Enes Kanter, he's literally like his regular self. And he's like, yeah, I'm a woman, though. And he's like freaking 6'10", and he declared for the WNBA draft. He signed his papers. He took his pictures, all of that. So, nah, this is very, very real in a way. But obviously, the WNBA is going to have to come out eventually and take a stand. There's no way they allow this. There's no way.
Whatsoever. I'm a pro-life Christian, Black, trans, lesbian, and they have no right to speak on my faith. That's very personal. But even more importantly, is like to continue to deny Black, transgender, lesbians is tantamount to genocide. What you just witnessed with the WNBA's response in the public is harmful. It's dangerous.
And for the ones that don't know, like, the whole backstory is Sophie Cunningham, a WNBA player. She came out one night and was like, you know, they've been talking about there's a transgender woman that's playing overseas right now, balling, right? He be dropping like 20 a game. And so he be balling over there. So I think they sparked up the conversation or something like that. And then Sophie was like, yeah, men don't need to be in women's leagues. Like, men don't need to be playing women's sports. Simple as that. But then the WNBA coaches came out and spoke against Sophie Cunningham, saying, like, we allow all players and blah blah, and then teammates and other players around the league started coming out against Sophie Cunningham and saying we allow all players and we don't discriminate and blah 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 blah. So that's when everybody was like, Sophie Cunningham is under fire for having that's not a hot take of saying men don't need to be playing women's sports. And so when she became like, when she was in a hot seat for having the most logical take ever, that's when people started coming to her defense and was like, you know what? All right, bro, let's just put an end to all of this dumb BS going on. So that's when Enes Kanter and Royce White came out and was like, cool. If y'all allowing anybody, then let's do it. So that's how we got to where we are today.
For all of us trans people, and it's tantamount to genocide.
I totally agree, and I got to ask on a personal level. You know, I've seen the comments. You know, you're being misgendered. You're being hated on, and I find that all really despicable. Yeah,
a lot of dead naming, a lot of misgendering. Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I never knew. Look, I always talked about, you know, this cultural wedge issue as like, you know, gender proceeds from biology. We have to have a shared reality when it comes to men and women. If we don't, it's pretty much pulled out the Jenga piece and baseline for us to have any meaningful conversations about the human condition or human existence. But I guess I was wrong. Obviously I was wrong. It's a revelation that I was wrong, and it's liberating. I had a transgender locked down inside of me for so long. It's really cured a lot of my other physical and mental health ailments, because you know, this was the root issue. Yeah,
that's my question. How is your mental health when you get dead named? You called it a genocide. Obviously that's true. How are you coping with the hate, the vitriol, the WNBA saying that this is bad faith, and they're questioning your gender journey? How are you doing personally?
Well, I mean, you know, they hate me because they ain't me, right? And you know, I get it. You know, it's a journey. Everybody's is you know.
Why they had to cut out Blake laughing?
Transition is a journey. I ain't me, right? And you know, I get it. You know, it's a journey.
They had to cut Blake out for laughing. Oh,
like everybody's is, you know, transition is a journey. Mine has to take place in front of the public, so it's going to have a lot of scrutiny, and people are going to have their opinions, right? I'm getting a lot of death threats, people telling me to commit suicide, but I'm not going to let anybody disturb my peace and my energy and me becoming the beautiful Black queen that I'm becoming right before America's eyes.
You mentioned dead naming. Is there a new name you've contemplated taking on that you would like to introduce to the world? We want to be maximally respectful here.
Yeah, it's Royce, Roysha. Yeah, Royce. And but
we're gonna change the lower for you really quick. And we didn't mean any disrespect.
I would appreciate that. No, you know what? I just figured out my identity myself. It's unfair to ask my friends like you guys on the Charlie Kirk show to get the name right every single time. But a lot of these people, these bad faith actors who say that I'm not a woman, this is all an act, they are dead naming me intentionally. They're dead naming me intentionally. It's not an honest mistake.
Yeah. No, obviously,
bro, he is very good at whatever he got going on, right? Royce, bro, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. I don't know, man. They go for a little bit more. They just fought so hard. The WNBA fought so hard to come up with a women's league and to give them something of their own, and for them to literally just abandon all of that stuff, and they're like, yeah, we allow anybody to come into the league, and as long as you identify as a woman, you know, we don't discriminate. Like, are you serious, bro? Are you serious? Can y'all just protect something? Like what Miss Shalami said, what Erica said, can I have one thing? Can women have one thing without men coming and take over? Got a whole league to yourself, and now y'all can't even sit here and just stand on the fact that, hey, you have to be a woman to play in the women's NBA. You have to, and they can't even stand on that. Okay, cool. So create a co-ed league and watch how I think if you create a co-ed league, I think it was Brandon Tatum, ironically. He was talking about like if you create a co-ed league, watch how that league will end up just being being the NBA, which is a valid point, right? We always talk about how like Brandon Tatum, outside of the Charlie Kirk thing, I don't know what happened to him, but he was a great person to listen to. And when it comes to other topics, he still be on point. Charlie Kirk, I don't know what the check looked like for him to just completely just go off a freaking cliff, but he made a great point. He was like, if you come up with a co-ed league, right, and you say, all right, if everybody just wants to play in the same league because you don't want to discriminate, create a co-ed league. But the co-ed league is going to end up turning into the NBA. That's just what it is. Because in the co-ed league, you're going to have women in it, but the women are going to realize that they cannot compete with men, and the women are just going to start falling off. And then the co-ed league, which is end up being the NBA. If you come up with a co-ed league for football, it's just going to end up being the NFL. And that is a fact. That is just a fact. Just two complete different styles of play. Men are just different than women. These are just common sense conversations. But why in the world are they entertaining the fact that Enes Kanter and Royce White, two NBA players, are going to come in and play against women? That would be crazy. And they're going to have to come out eventually. But that's the funny part, because they dug a hole so deep that they're going to have to literally come out and like, one, denounce whatever is going on right here with Royce White and Enes Kanter. They're going to have to denounce that, but then they're going to also have to like backtrack all of the things they've been saying over these last couple of weeks of going at Sophie Cunningham and saying that they accept anybody and they don't discriminate. They're going to have to literally backtrack, because you can't just pick and choose. If they're saying that they're transgender and they're a woman, you can't just say, no, you're not. So like the WNBA has dug a hole so deep that, to be honest, unless Royce White and Enes Kanter just be like, man, I'm joking, I ain't gonna do it, I don't know. It's hard to see either side right now. I can see, honestly, both sides. I can see them going through with it and this thing actually happening. But at the same time, I also see the WNBA coming out and saying something like, no, we don't allow this. But then again, they're going to have to backtrack a lot. I don't know.
Obviously, it's bigoted, it's hateful, and we can't abide it, Royce. And I just want you to know we have your back 100% here. Now, you are getting called out on CNN. The WNBA is attacking you. Sophie Cunningham has already attacked you. That's what sparked all this. Do you have anything you'd like to say to Sophie Cunningham in particular?
Well, I got a lot of respect for Sophie Cunningham. She's a great player. She's tough. You know, she does a lot of the little things. I think that Sophie's has a right to her opinion. She has a right to her free speech. We obviously disagree, which is why I'm pursuing the 2027 draft.
The NBA funds the WNBA. So that's why I was like, bro, if y'all don't get y'all stuff together, y'all already lose money every year. It just started getting better once Angel Reese did help, but Caitlin Clark really started popping the WNBA off as far as the funds. But they lose money every year. If we just talking about from a general perspective or a bigger picture perspective, they lose money every year. The NBA funds the WNBA. So it's like, bro, get y'all stuff together, please.
And I'd love to get a chance to play with Sophie. Actually, in fact, if there was one team other than the Minnesota Lynx, I'm a hometown guy here in Minnesota, Belly the Beast, cultural epicenter of American politics. If there was one other team I'd love to play for, it'd be the Indiana Fever and the great Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah, and by the way, they could use somebody, of your size and athleticism to maybe defend Caitlin Clark, which has been another ongoing controversy in the WNBA. I mean, Caitlin gets fouled more than anybody, and they're just egregious. Now, Sophie's getting slapped in the face with flagrant technical fouls here, and obviously not going for the ball. They could use you on that team. So I'm 100% behind you. The Indiana Fever should absolutely draft you in this upcoming draft. And what do you think you could bring to a team in the WNBA, Royce?
A little bit of everything. You know, when I was in
Bro, look at Blake, bro. Yeah, you know what? I can't even laugh. I can't even laugh with Blake at the same time.
college and
Royce, what do you think you could bring to a team in the WNBA, Royce?
well, a little bit of everything. You know, when I was in college and all through my career, one of the things that has always been said or complimented about my game is that I'm versatile. I do a little bit of everything. I guard every position. I can score at all three levels. I'm a willing passer. I'm a tough-nosed defender. I love defense. I take pride in defense, and that's a lost art in today's game, gender-wide. And I think I could bring all of those things to a WNBA team. I will, you know, and I'll do whatever the team needs me to do. Whatever the other girls need me to do, I'm here to do.
Well, I think that we recently had Sophie Cunningham herself. She took a hard foul, and her own coach came out and said, I respect you. Don't let someone drive in the paint unobstructed. I respect the opposing player for fouling hard. Are you prepared in your new feminine identity? Are you comfortable with going maximally hard, doing some aggressive, violent fouls on your fellow women in the WNBA?
Well, of course, as the first, sometimes identifying as a Black trans woman, I don't want to be targeted. You know, that I don't think that would be right for me to be targeted. That'd be transphobic if they intentionally targeted me and tried to hurt me or foul me because of my trans identity. But you know, it's a contact sport, and people have to be willing to go in there and take a knock or two.
Well, I mean, would you, on that same question line, would you be, if you do play for the Indiana Fever, I mean, is that a kind of coach you want to play for? Somebody that's encouraging other teams to foul their players, her players?
Not particularly. I think that she should have defended her players. You always want to defend your players, especially your star players. And whether or not Sophie Cunningham's a premier scorer in the league, certainly she's become one of the faces of the league, and for good reason. She's a beautiful queen. And you know, Caitlin Clark is obviously next world and has elevated the entire WNBA. And right now, I think their WNBA community, soon to be our WNBA community, is going to have to come to grips with the fact that Caitlin Clark has really elevated the game, and a rising tide raises all boats, right? I mean, I don't understand why even myself joining the league, as long as we get more eyeballs, as long as we get more attention, as long as the ticket prices and the TV audience continues to increase, what's the problem?
Well, I don't see a problem with it at all, Royce. And I just want to say that on behalf of the Charlie Kirk Show, we got your back, Queen, and we think you're beautiful just the way you are. And we support this 100%. So Godspeed. And we know that you are going to take the WNBA to heights it hasn't seen, and we're just really excited for this next stage of your journey.
But before we go, I just want to make sure that I pay homage to the people who came before me, the people whose shoulders I stand on, right? I mean, that's so important. All of these other gender fluid folks that really set the stage for culture to accept me. You got people like Joanna Man and Tyler Perry, and you got even the late Robin Williams, Miss Doubtfire. There's so many other, and you can't forget the beautiful RuPaul. Right,
bro said Joanna Man and Tyler Perry. Oh my gosh, I can't take this bro serious.
Paul was there, and Tyler Perry. Stage for culture to accept me. You got people like Joanna Man and Tyler Perry, and you got even the late Robin Williams, Miss Doubtfire. There's so many other, and you can't forget the beautiful RuPaul, right? RuPaul was one of the early pioneers of the sometimes identifying as a me trans lesbian woman. So I'm standing on their shoulders. I'm standing on their shoulders.
The FBI calls it house stealing.
I can't, bro. Bro says, shout out to Joanna Man and Tyler Perry for leading the way. Oh my gosh, bro. I can't. I love it though. I love it. I'm curious. I'm gonna be following this entire thing until it comes to a solution or a conclusion. I'm gonna be following it. But so far, the first time we started talking about this was like 2 or 3 episodes ago. It has gone absolutely nowhere outside of the women gathering around the table trying to figure out what a woman is, and they still didn't come to a conclusion or a solution on that. So we'll keep following it. We'll keep following it, seeing where it goes. But this is hilarious. This is Royce White is the funniest one between him and Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter, like I said, he is doing the same thing. He's another NBA player doing the same thing. But Enes Kanter is just like kind of just being normal about it. He's just like himself, but he's just like, I'm a girl, you know. But Royce White is like tapping into it. He's fully tapping into it. So this is funny. We're gonna be following it though. But outside of that, man, I appreciate y'all for listening or watching, or I guess watching or listening to another Yappisode. Please hit the like button again before you get out of here. And also subscribe to the channel if you are new as well. And replay crew as well. I appreciate y'all, whoever tunes in and watches tomorrow. And, you know, again, you can follow and support on all of these different platforms. That is the easiest way to support the channel, by following these platforms on TikTok, multiple accounts, 2 accounts, jshaw.3. That's the main account. A lot of people have followed the backup account and they thought the backup account was the main account, but that's actually just a backup account. But you should also follow both accounts. It's a variety of things. All right. People get it very, very confused. Okay. People think that I have only became relevant. I wouldn't even say that because I don't like to say stuff like that. It feels weird. People think that I just got started, I guess, into social media when you know, this did since like January, February, or since like Charlie died or something like that. And that's not the case at all. I think that's when maybe a lot of people from another side of the world found my content. But I have been doing TikTok for years. And so that's why you can always find my main account. It's on there, right there, jshaw.3. That's my main account. And that I'll talk about literally everything else outside of Charlie Kirk. I barely even talk about Charlie Kirk on there at all. That's a whole nother page. That's just a whole bunch of yapping. And then obviously the backup account, which everybody tends to know, Jay the Yapper 1. X as well, Jay the Yapper 1. Facebook, we just created that. So please go over there and support the channel or support the page if you can. We only had like 5 or 6 followers, so we're on the way up from there. You can also support the channel on buymeacoffee.com. You can become a member of the channel. I know we have some great people in the community gifting memberships tonight, so thank you for doing that. But please support all the pages because you'll be surprised, right? It's content everywhere. And so that's why I know somebody asked me about you know, consistent Yappisodes. And I feel like we've been pretty good with the Yappisodes from you know, where we used to be. We used to only be like 1-2 times a week. And people used to make fun of me for that because they'd see my content or something like that, or see a Yappisode. And then when somebody asks, like, you know, when's the next one? I remember looking at comments and be like, bro, don't even count on it. Jay only be going like 1 to 2 times a week. You're just gonna have to catch him 1 to 2 times a week. Now we at like 4 to 5. But you know, the nights that we are not on a Yappisode, check all the other socials because I promise you we be on there. I'll be on TikTok live plenty of times. And all other stuff. So definitely don't miss nothing. Be tapped in. Outside of that, I appreciate y'all for listening to tonight. No TikTok or X, so thanks for being on YouTube. Absolutely, of course. That's the point. That's the point. I want to be everywhere. Wherever people like to be, I am trying my best to make it there. So that's why I say we're working our way over to the Spotify side, because some people ask about that. Some people ask about the Apple Podcast. That's brand new to me. I don't know about any of that. I don't know how any of that works. So, you know, one-man team over here as far as like the production side and trying to get stuff out. So it could be a lot, you know, like that's why while managing Yappisodes and YouTube and all this other stuff, like I also have to consistently, you know, post on TikTok. That's something that I've done for years. You know, I've outside of like the last year, I believe, like I posted on TikTok every day for like 3-4 years. Never missed a day. And so just as of this year, when we started YouTube, well, not started YouTube, I guess like relaunched it. When we relaunched YouTube in January, that was the first time that I started to not post every day on my main account on TikTok. Because for the ones that don't know, TikTok has been doing very weird stuff. When the sale happened, I guess I never talked about it on here before. When the sale happened with TikTok and they sold it over from China to the US, or, you know, maybe to the blue and white country too. When they did that, something happened to my main account that was just so weird. And that's when I was like, I'm not going to really put too much effort into my main account. You know, I'm going to post, but it's probably not going to be every day. It might be every other day. Sometimes it is every day. But it started getting very weird. Like I remember like I would let's just say, for example, metrics wise, I might bore people to death. That's fine. All right. The Yappisode's over. We just yapping right now. But let's just say I have a consistent amount of followers right here, right? It's the whole week. It's kind of been the same. Every now and then a video is going to go viral. So boom, video go viral. And let's say from that viral video, you gain like 1,000 followers, something crazy. Literally like 2 days later. So again, keep in mind, it's been a consistent following this whole time, right? Consistent following. Video goes viral over something. So then boom, jumps up to 1,000. You got 1,000, you gained 1,000 followers from over the last like 2 days. When I'm talking about, it's like every single time, once this happens, give it about 2 days. And next thing you know, you will lose just the amount of followers, like that same amount of followers and probably some more. And you'll be right back where you started or in the hole. And it's just a repetitive cycle. Like they're doing something to my account that my main account that is genuinely pissing me off. And it's making me not post on that account. So that's why I say follow all accounts, because that account, it pisses me off so much. I just got out of being shadow banned on that account, on my main account. Because yes, I did talk about like a lot of politics stuff on there. And as soon as the sale happened, they tried their best to silence me. I'm talking about it's 249 or something thousand followers over there. And there was a period in time where I couldn't even get like 400 views. And this is the thing. I have never, ever, ever cared about views, ever. Like whoever supports and rocks with anything, I'm like, I appreciate it. Because I look at it like this. Like if you know, it's 178 people in the chat. I'm just thinking like, if you talk to 178 people at one time, that's a lot of people. If you get your butt whooped by 181 people, that's a lot of people. So I have never really cared about that, but it was just like the intentional, you know, sabotaging of my channel, the intention of like doing things to it that were like shadow banning it or whatever, or trying to silence me. That's when I was like, I don't like this, because this is excuse me, purposeful. This is intentional. And so it started really pissing me off. And so they're still doing it. Like literally, if I get any type of traction, somehow 2 or 3 days later, I will lose just as many followers and go back in the hole. And I'm like, dog, I literally was staying the same. So how is that even possible? And you know, I tested it out. I even made a couple of videos about it. I'm saying this because maybe somebody might have a solution. But I even made a couple of videos about it. And I remember one video, it was probably like 200 plus people comment or like that one comment, and was like, bro, I been following you for years and TikTok made me unfollow you. And it was like 200 likes. And it was like 100 people that was like, bro, I didn't even unfollow him, but it says I'm not following him anymore. And I'm like, that's literally what's happening to the main account. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what, but that's why I got like all these other things, because I'm like, you know, YouTube has been great. The backup account has been great as far as just like everybody that supports and rocks with the content is able to see it. I don't really have to worry about, I'm not shadow banned yet, but the main account is just going through some weird stuff right now. And it's literally doing it as we speak. You know, I just checked it like yesterday and I was like, how in the world did I lose like 400, 500 followers in 2 days when it only lost because I gained 400, 500 followers? It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know if anybody understood anything that I was saying. That was just a rant because I can't ever tell anybody that, right? I'm at home watching this stuff go down. I'm looking at the metrics and I'm like, bro, what? So, yeah, that's my rant. That's my social media rant. So something's weird going on over there, but I'm trying to figure it out. You know, like I said, I just got out of TikTok jail. They're finally showing my video in the algorithm on my main account. They're finally doing that, but I for sure lost, like, I'm trying to gain it back, to be honest. I'm really trying to gain back the passion that I had for yapping on TikTok, because that's where it started. Like, that is the original yapping content. That was the original, like, the professional yapper. Like, that started there years ago. And on that one account, bro, I literally lost the passion for yapping on that account, because I was like, this is just not it, bro. Like, they trying to silence me and I'm falling for it. Like, I am for sure like, cool, bro. I'm sure you don't want me to post no more. You know, I won't, because you got me messed up thinking I'm finna yap. And next, you know, it's like, oh, 200 views. And then it's crazy because like you'll post and within like 2-3 minutes, they'll be like, you want to pay for more views? No, I don't. But it's almost like they punish you the second you keep swiping. It's like, no, I'm not paying for nothing. And they're like, all right, bet. It's like, it's so crazy, bro. Social media is in a weird place, but you got to continue to try to like outsmart the system with social media. You know, you can't really, you got to just adapt and adjust. That's part of the game. So, I'm gonna figure it out. I just know that not necessarily the YouTube community, but I know on TikTok, especially my main account, a lot of people have wondered, like, dang, bro, like the yapping content on TikTok on the main account has like slowed down. Now it's like one video every 2 days or 3 days. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I just genuinely don't even enjoy yapping over there, because when I post a video, somehow me posting a video gets negative responses when it literally wasn't even a hot take. Somehow that one post will result in 500 lost followers. And I'm like, what's happening, bro? So YouTube is where it's at right now. YouTube is where it's at as far as like the supporting fan base and them not doing weird stuff. Every now and then you're gonna have like a day where the YouTube algorithm is messing with everybody, but I mean, that's just social media though. You just got to keep on pushing, keep on putting content out, keep on you know, I don't know, being yourself and trusting in yourself, and you'll be all right. You will be all right always. Baby happens to go into no metrics before math with Jay's rants at home. I'm telling you, bro, I be breaking all this stuff down. I be telling my wife this too, and she just be looking at me. And I'm like, bro, I promise you, like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, I have been doing this for years. I promise you. Like, I know, like with TikTok, I figured it out. Years ago, I figured it out, how to crack the system and how to do what I was doing. And it took off like years ago. I was like, oh, I figured it out. And so that's why I was like, dog, don't act like I don't know what's going on right now, bro. Like, I definitely look at metrics. You know what I mean? Like, that's not the end all be all, but I look at metrics to see if you really playing with me or not. You have to. If you're somebody that's on social media that like, this is like part of your income, you are supposed to look at your metrics to see if they really playing with you. You know what I mean? To make sure like if you need to adjust, if you need to adapt, if you need to do something, you have to. You can't just let social media like screw you. You know what I mean? Because that's what's going on. And so yeah, I looked at the metrics, bro. Like for example, let me pull it up right now. I know I'm yapping. Let me pull it up right now, just so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So for example, my main account. Bro, I knew that was gonna happen. Bro, they make videos go viral for the wrong reasons. I ain't even want that Lindsay Clancy video to go viral because there's gonna be so many negative comments, and that was not the intention of the video. But for example, on my main account, I'm looking at the metrics right now for followers. And it says in the last 7 days, I lost 168 followers. And like it happens, right? People can always unfollow you. But the problem is like I said, I'm talking about like, again, the analytics of things and people that I've talked to. And when I make, post about it, and like when you have 200 to 300 people saying, bro, I didn't even unfollow you. That's crazy because that's like how deep does social media go? Like these people are literally in our accounts, like hitting unfollow on accounts for us. Like I be thinking deep like that. You know what I mean? Like that is insane for these people to be in our phones unfollowing people without our consent. So I already have the proof of that. So like it says this week alone, I lost 168 followers. And I didn't net any followers. So that pretty much means this week alone, I lost more followers than I gained. And it's been that way for the last 2 weeks. What is it? August 20th. So like, let me go from the 6th to the 19th. So see from the 6th to the 19th, I netted negative 303 followers. So I lost way more followers than I gained, and I'm 303 followers in the hole in the last 2 weeks. So when people say I'm tripping or something like that, I'm like, no, bro, no, I'm not tripping at all. I be looking at this stuff all the time. Look at the lines. Look how I know it's kind of like inverted, but look at the lines and how those are just going down, by the way. And mind you, these right here, I know it's kind of hard to see. These right here are all negatives. So I'm not, the positives is up here. These are all negatives. And it's literally just going down every single day. And I'm like, what is going on, bro? And so that's what I'm saying. Like, when I don't make any videos at all, and this is how you know it's intentional and like some type of like, I don't know what they got going on. But when I don't make any videos at all, the follower count will stay the same. That's how you know it's intentional, because it's not like I'm posting stuff and it's like, oh, you had a hot take, so people not rocking with you no more. Cool. But when you don't make any videos at all and the follower count stays the same, but then you make one video and somehow you lose like 400 followers and the video is like the most normal video ever, that's when it's like, okay, you're literally messing with me now. You're messing with me now. And so like that was the 2 weeks, negative 303 followers. But I made a video the other day. I forgot which video it was. I think yeah, I was on a run like a week or so ago, and it was like 700,000 views, 20,000, 13,000, 10,000. So like that week, it went from, I remember I was at like 249 point, I don't know, 8, 9. So like close to like 250,000. And next thing you know, like the next day or maybe 2 days, it might have been like a week in total. It might have took a whole week. But now it went from 249.8, right, to now 249 point. I know it's hard to see. 249.3. So that's what I mean. Like, I'm like, that's just not happening, bro. You don't do all of this, and then next thing you know, a week later, you lose 600 followers in 2 days, 3 days, bro. And so I don't know, bro. Like stuff like that, it makes you lose. It makes you lose your motivation and your passion, because it's like, y'all, you're playing with me on purpose, and I don't appreciate that or like that at all. Like this year alone was by far the worst year ever on TikTok on my main account. Out of all my years of being on TikTok, this year was the worst year ever when it comes to videos, supporters, all of that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't know. But, you know, welcome to my rant of the night about social media and how it is very hard to put all your trust into it. You know, people ask me that all the time about like going full time social media. I don't know, bro. It would take a lot because I just don't trust it, man. I just don't trust it. They could just do stuff, man. Like TikTok also, when China had the app, TikTok used to pay bank. I'm talking bank. Then when they sold the app to America, bro, I'm talking, it changed so much, like so bad, way worse. And it's stuff like that. I'm like, bro, y'all. And then remember when I think when Trump first got in office or something like that, bro, they turned TikTok off for like 3 days. I'm like, it's stuff like that, bro. Like social media and all this stuff. Our government could just turn it off anytime they want to. And so, like, I don't know, bro. It would take a lot. I don't know. My wife be asking me that. I'm like, I don't know, man. It would take a lot of things would have to be in line for me to be like, you know what? I trust social media now. Because right now I don't trust them. It's they too wishy-washy for me. That can't be accurate. That's what I said. They gon', you know, but then, you know, they gonna gaslight you though. Because if I submit a ticket or anything like that, they're gonna be like, oh, you know, I don't know. And it's like, I can't win for nothing. I can't win for losing. My friend who's an influencer on TikTok doesn't say anything bad about the app with his phone around that he posts on. I don't know if that's helpful. What you mean he don't say anything bad about the app with his phone around that he posts on? What you mean he don't say anything bad about the app? Like any like negative like feedback, like how I'm giving negative feedback? Is that what you mean? He thinks everything is good for him. And that's the thing. It depends on the account, because that's why I have my backup account. My backup account's fine. My backup account, I've never had an issue with it. Never. Not one time. And so I've realized like there are a couple of people that that I used to follow that has similar accounts to mine of like 200 plus, 200,000 plus. And they all were like, bro, yeah, something weird is happening. I don't know if it's just like the larger accounts or what. And then like most of them got deleted. Most of those people got deleted. And I was like, what is going on? And then they were telling me, they were like, yeah, that was what you're going through right now was like the beginning of what led me to get deleted. So they was like, you better be careful with your hot takes and all of that stuff, because they trying to do something to your account, bro. Why should I pay TikTok $30 for 7K views? I'll get 1K views and 3 likes. Bro, that's the crazy part too about TikTok. It's like, they're not even going to show me a video that they're trying to make me pay for, because usually they do. Bro, it doesn't even equate. Like, it's not even equal to what you actually get from it. Let's say that, right? $30. And they'll say if you spend $30, we'll give you 40,000 views. But then it's like, dog, if I get 40,000 views on a video myself without paying you, like organically, You don't even pay me $30. So why would I pay you $30 to get 40,000 views? If when I get 40,000 views, you don't even pay me $30. Like, if that's not America in a nutshell, when they started doing that, I was like, yeah, bro, this is America on right here. I mean, this got America written all over it. And I wish I could give you an example. Cause like that's literally what they'll be doing. They'll be like, yeah, bro, pay $30 and you'll get 40,000 views. And I'm just like, dog, that's not even the case. Like, bro, I can pull up right now. What's a 40,000? Right? Oh, here, 50,000. How much did $50,000? I mean, $50,000 views, 52,000 views. How much did that pay? $20. $20. But yet they'll literally be like, but if you spend $20, but they'll be like, if you spend $20, we'll give you 70,000 views. Or like, it's some ridiculous stuff. And I'm like, bro, come on, bro. They just be doing too much. And I think that's the point where many give up. Why put the work if there's little to no growth? Sounds very frustrating. Yeah, that is why a lot of people give up on social media. It is. And so, you know, that's exactly why I was like, yo, I'm not even gonna put too much effort into my main account anymore. I mean, if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But when you really be putting in the effort, and that's when I think I was getting frustrated because I was really putting in the time and the effort, and they was just screwing me over, bro. And I was like, you know what, bro? You know what? I'm gonna just put my time into my backup account, put my time into YouTube, and be all right. Yep, he does give negative feedback on the app. Yeah, I might need to submit a ticket or something. Jay, please show Didi how to grease and comb his hair, wear a do-rag. My boy hair looking crazy. Yo, chill, bro. Chill. You gotta relax, man. Everybody's different. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. You know, somebody probably say, "Hey, bro, Didi, go give Jay some tips on how to dress more professional in his podcast." Because I definitely be looking like a straight bum. You know what I mean? I don't be, you know, Didi be looking all spiffy. I ain't got that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like being comfortable. But you know, everybody different though. Everybody different. Everybody different. I'm glad you peeped the waves though. You feel what I'm saying? Folks be trying me. They be saying, bro, you wear a do-rag all the time. You gotta be bald. Or you know, when I know the ladies, y'all be talking about they be talking about like hatfish. Y'all know a guy that always wears hats 24/7. And it's like, yeah, you probably bald. Yeah. You probably wear that hat for a reason. I'm not like that. I genuinely am just comfortable all the time in my do-rag. Like if I ain't really got nowhere to go for real, I just wear a do-rag all the time. So when I make my YouTube videos or my TikToks, I'm like, yeah, I'm already comfortable. I'm in what I'm in to go to sleep in or whatever the case may be. And so I got my do-rag on. I'm not gonna take it off to make a video. So I keep it on probably 90% of the time. And then 10% of the time I'll take it off. And then people was like, whoa, you have hair. I'm like, well, one, you would have hair to wear a do-rag. But I'm like, yeah, I'm not bald. I still got a line. I'm pretty proud of that. Right? I'm 29. I'm not losing no hair. I ain't got no like my hairline is slightly receding, but you know what I mean? I know a lot of people, man, that some close friends that 29, 30 years old, less than that, probably like 27. Them folks was losing hair. Going bald, I was like, dang, that's tough, bro. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. X does that too. Boost your comment for $5.50 for 2 months. I mean, that's the crazy part. That's just America. Like I said, like they so money hungry. When I saw that, when I first got on X for the first time, a couple of months ago, like I couldn't believe that they was like, oh, you have to pay for a subscription to post a long tweet. I was like, what? I used to get on Twitter all the time back in the day. Now I gotta pay you to have a longer thought. I'm baffled. I don't know what does this world come to. And so I'm like, okay, sure, bro. I guess sure. Take my $8 a month, bro. So that way I can tweet longer than 100 words. That's crazy. And then now they talking about boosting stuff. It's insane, bro. They just ask for money 24/7, bro. Do you get paid if an X comment does good? Why would you pay for that? X does pay you based on what is those things called? What is that called again? I forgot what that thing is called. But it's like interactions or I forgot what you call it. But yeah, they do pay you for that. I haven't registered my X account yet to be monetized. It did say that it was it was eligible for monetization like a month ago, but I haven't really rushed to do it because I know people said that X just be throwing out pennies. So I don't know. I mean, I guess capitalize every chance you get. So I need to sign up eventually, but I don't know. Pay for comments. I know very little about the other platforms, but that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's the crazy part. People just pay to be relevant now. Like they pay to have followers, they pay to get views, they pay to all that. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. I didn't pay for a dime on any account. It just ain't happening. People pay to feel popular. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's just like supers on YouTube. The more you pay, the more words you use. Yeah, it's man, all of these platforms have interesting times we live in. Interesting times we live in. Okay, I didn't realize you get paid on X to only go engagement. That's what it is. Only going ecstasy, J's and parents posts. I appreciate it. I do need to get a little bit more active on X. I'm trying. X can be a little toxic sometimes. So if I take a break from any app, it'll be X. But I do need to get a little active on there. So I'm gonna get back on there. I know I've been lacking a lot on X. I'm always straight to the point. YouTube earns the minimum. Homie, Black Mirror, improve your social score. Yeah, it's great. X is a scary place. It is a scary place, man. X is crazy. X is crazy. I definitely, some days I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm not opening that app today. It ain't happening. It's too much crazy stuff going on over there. Man, I appreciate y'all for listening to this last little rant. I know I've been on a rant for probably 45 extra minutes. But I appreciate y'all, man. Make sure you guys turn on your notifications as well. So that way you'll be notified the next time we go live. I know we went back-to-back nights, so I probably won't be live tomorrow. But make sure you turn them on because we'll probably have a Yappisode on today's Thursday. Okay, tonight's Thursday. So I probably won't be live tonight, Thursday. So just turn them on. We'll be back sometime this weekend, Friday, Saturday, one of them. So just turn your notifications on so that way you can be notified for the the next time we go live, so you don't miss nothing at all. Turn that that is a notification. I'm about to say turn your alarm on. That's how you know I'm just getting sleepy, bro, at this point. We got a buzzer beater. What we got? Simply Simple. Thank you for the donation, supporting the channel. I wonder who gets more, you or YouTube. You know the answer to that, boy. These apps rob you. Highway robbery. But YouTube, I think, out of all platforms, is the most fair, or they at least have the best share. These other apps just be highway robbery. You know, like I said, YouTube, I mean, TikTok, you can get 1 million views and they'll probably pay you $250 for 1 million views. I mean, I can literally tell you right here. Let's take 758,000. My guess, it depends on if they gave me like extra promotions or not, but probably 100 to 250. That's my guess. 139. 139 for 758,000 views. But YouTube, if you hit 758,000 views, shoot, you might get about 2 bands. It's crazy. Angela, thank you for supporting the channel. Boost the algo. Absolutely. Please. You enjoyed the extra yapping. Thank you. Man, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for sticking through all the extra yapping. I know I could be annoying. I'm aware. I'm aware. You ain't got to tell me. Yeah, that's cool. I already know, so you ain't got to tell me. IG the best? Yeah, I don't know about IG. IG got some creeps over there, bro. I can't stand IG engagement, man. Too many, like, I might have to create like a whole nother account because I got like a personal account on IG that I literally don't post at all. I haven't posted in years. But it's just weird, bro. It just be like it'd be a whole bunch of like people from like like people that known you forever, like childhood and all that stuff. And they just be like lurking. You know what I mean? Like they don't ever like support or like comment or engage. Like folks just be lurking. IG will be over there. They'll be like 1,000 views with like 1 comment. It's like, whoa, wow, 1,000 people watching? Y'all ain't saying nothing. 1,000 views, 1 comment, 25 likes. What? Weirdo. I'm supposed to be weird over there. All right, bro. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great night. I hope you have a great day tomorrow. And I will see y'all on the next one.